That was absurd. They did nothing, and then they all got eliminated.
I really, really miss the Acclaimed. It's hilarious. Like, they're just like, yo, you remember that time when you tried to kill me?
Welcome back to Locked Up with Donovan Ryan. I'm Henry Behringer, and finally we have a much more normal episode where we're not behind by 3 weeks. We can just lay back and talk about this week in wrestling, and it'll be
there's no PLEs.
No PLEs as well. Next week there will be, because right after we're recording this, there will be Redemption, AEW Redemption, and then actually, now that I think about it, we're not doing a normal episode next week because we're going to be live reacting to SummerSlam. Specifically,
yes,
Night 2. Okay, yeah.
Because I have to work night 1.
Employed.
Yeah,
employed.
I am employed. Yeah, I'm employed.
Sucks to be him and all that. Am I right? Hey, whatever. I need a job anyway. But yeah, we have a few things to talk about today. But first, let me get this out of the way. At Fanatics Fest, Danhausen had a curse and uncursing booth, and a video was released the other day by a fan of a Miami Heat fan that went to the booth and was cursed by Danhausen, and then a guy next to Dan about the LeBron stuff, right? Cursed by Danhausen, and then the guy next to him says, well, I guess he's going to the 76ers now. And he did. So once again, Danhausen has...
The curse is real.
Changed the entire trajectory of the National Basketball League. Association.
And National Basketball League? Okay.
Association, my bad. But you get the point. Like,
this curse is real. This curse is real.
There's something up. There's something up. Whenever I, jokingly curse a friend or something like that, then something happens. Like, I don't know what, there's something behind it.
Well, let me get this out of the way, because we don't usually talk about AAA on here, but I'll just say it here. Dominic Mysterio turned on El Grande Americano and has aligned himself with El Ojo and freaking Omos.
Dominic Mysterio was face for 2 weeks or
a
whatever.
Day.
Yeah, I don't know
a day.
I saw a YouTube comment on one of the AAA clips where it was like, I hope that he stays face and whatever, but at the same time I like him as a heel, but I'm really liking this new side of Dominic Mysterio, and then 20 minutes later he turns. So
he's too good as a heel to stay a heel. Well, to stay a face.
Yeah,
he's just too good. The crowd hates him. He's too good as a heel. Everybody was like, oh, maybe he'll actually, stay face. I don't know why anybody thought he was going to stay face, if anybody thought he was going to stay face. But, every time we think Dominic might be showing some good, he does something twice as bad. So
Yeah, and that's a funny thing, because when the whole Judgment Day started to, really collapse, I was originally hoping that Dominic would turn face and Finn would be heel, because during everything, Finn was kind of putting Dom down a lot, and he was showing a heelish side, and then he ended up turning face, which I thought was weird. So I think at some point Dominic has to have a true babyface run that isn't just his rookie run alongside Ray. But I think it's still going to be a long time until we see something truly face from him. I am ready to go into Raw, and we start off with Javon Evans and Dragon Lee versus The Vision.
Oh my God, Raw kicked off for the match right after we said it last week.
Oh yeah,
we had said how long it was since Raw's kicked off with a match, and they kicked off with a match this week.
Exactly.
So you know what? We did that. You're welcome.
We didn't do that.
We did that. You're welcome. You're welcome. Who booked this crap? Me. Me and him. Me and him. We booked this crap. We.
All right. Whatever you say. But that is funny because, last week we were talking about how AEW, especially Collision, almost always starts off straight with the match. And now Raw decided to do that instead of the 4,000 segments and contract signings like usual. But we start off with Javon Evans and Lee versus The Vision. And right to start with everything, Javon Evans attacks The Vision early. And
before that happens, Javon Evans is debuting Juventus' away kit. During his entrance, he is wearing Juventus, the soccer team's new away kit.
Yeah, that's right. They were wearing...
For his match.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Which, me personally, I think looked great.
It was cool looking. It was, I mean, I don't know as much about football, soccer, whatever you want to call it. And so it just kind of threw me off, and I was like, okay. And I kind of like blocked it out of my memory. But I do remember
I think it looked great.
I think it did too. I'm a little bit confused on why that was the choice of having Javon Evans do the world debut.
You'd think they'd like... If they're going to pick, a wrestler to do it with, you'd think they'd ask Fabian Eichner. But,
yeah, right.
Who is an actual Italian. Or, Tony D'Angelo, whose fake gimmick was an Italian.
Yeah, but, anything. Tony D'Angelo really did follow in Kofi Kingston's footsteps, didn't he?
Yes. What happened to your accent?
During this tag match, Lee is in the ring. Javon Evans is waiting for his tag, doing the Ultimate Warrior. Shaking the top rope, losing his mind. Once he finally gets tagged in, he comes in, he evades, I believe it was a kick or something, then kips up right into a stunner to Austin Theory.
I had that in here. Crazy stunner.
That was
also Austin Theory.
Absurd...
it was Austin Theory. You're right.
Yeah, absurd spots as always from Javon Evans, and finally something that doesn't put his life on the line and is still cool.
Yeah, this IC title division is absolutely stacked.
Yeah,
it's just stacked. It's so much better than SmackDown's U.S. title division.
And that's something that we talked about last week with, or at least I think well, maybe that was in the episode that didn't come out, but we were talking about how Sheamus got released and how he never really got his shot at the IC title again. But it's because of how great that division is right now.
Yeah.
It's like where
Ethan
are you going to
put
Rusev?
Mm-hmm. That gauntlet match last week just shows you how great this division is versus SmackDown, who have 4 contenders. You have Ilya Dragunov, Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes, and Baron Corbin.
And Ilya hasn't been on TV in 2 months.
Yeah, Ilya hasn't been on TV in months. Carmelo Hayes is just eating pins. Trick is the champion, and Baron Corbin's facing him at SummerSlam.
Yeah, but hey, we got on Raw, we got Chad Gable going for the title with his amazing theme song, and I can't wait. Can't wait for that to be played around the entire stadium at SummerSlam. This is going to be amazing. Anyways, once again, Javon Evans thankfully doesn't go into the crowd this time, but has another timekeeper spot. Yeah, almost did again. But had another timekeeper spot where he jumps into there.
For the vast majority of this match, Austin Theory gets his ass handed to him for pretty much the entire match.
Yeah, most of the offense that was in this the whole time was from Braun Breaker. He would end up, what did he do? He speared both people and then would pin Dragon Lee to defend the titles. I think the titles were on the line. Were they?
No.
They weren't. Okay, well, it doesn't matter because they won anyway. The Vision would then attack Javon Evans until Alpha Academy would enter.
This was great. This was a great segment.
I mean, once again, the Alpha Academy has been great in segments, especially fighting recently. I mean, people underrate Akira Tozawa all the time. He's great in
There was a ripcord forearm to Tozawa in this by Austin Theory, and he lays Tozawa out.
Yeah.
Tozawa may be dead.
He's died, and come back to life 5 times in the last 2 weeks.
It's like Kenny from South Park. It's insane.
It's been an absurd year for Akira Tozawa.
Otis also cleans house, which I also think it's a little bit like, I feel like Breaker more than anybody, but Breaker and Austin Theory both get nerfed big time during this. A little bit, have been nerfed big time during this feud.
I'll put it to you this way: if you're gonna make it even, it's not gonna be Akira Tozawa who's dominating them.
No.
So yeah, Otis was taking care of the Vision. Dupree would slap Otis before all of that happened. But then the Vision would come around and start to beat down on everyone. Otis was speared, and Dupree is on the top turnbuckles staring at what she created. And
smiling.
How can you not hate the Vision right now?
Yeah, no. And for good reason. They've done really good heel work these last couple of weeks, especially Maxine. So
totally.
I'm really excited to see where this goes. I'm assuming it's going to end up having Otis and Tozawa fight for the titles at SummerSlam.
Danhausen, baby. And he's finally got, and this is like a big deal to me, finally getting an in-ring promo that is broadcast to the USA.
Before this was the Judgment Day. Literally, they have him up against the wall by his t-shirt like a bully in a 90s movie. Like, where's my money? Huh? Where's my money?
Yeah,
where's my money?
They keep trying to get to the money, and that is the whole center of this promo that he's about to deliver. But all of his in-ring promos have been during ads in the U.S. and have been only broadcast to other countries. So this is good for him. But he pulls out his bag of money, and he says that he's going to give it to the fans. And so now Judgment Day is losing their minds. They enter, they want the money. Danhausen curses the Judgment Day, and then Joe Hendry enters. The Judgment Day would attack Danhausen, and then Joe Hendry would enter and attack the Judgment Day, but the Judgment Day would end up getting the money and running away. And after some ads, we go backstage to the Judgment Day.
There were two things between this. There was a Big Cass vignette where he looked to show remorse for turning on Enzo Amore all those years ago. So
I'm sorry, I must have completely missed that. I did not even notice that there was another vignette.
But I'm assuming that means Cass won't be alone. I'd love to see him be with Enzo.
Me too.
And then, because I love Enzo, as he's so great on the mic. And then there was another Rollins Reigns vignette that no one cares about. Anyway, continue.
You know what? That's probably what it was, because I was skipping all the Rollins Reigns Shield stuff, and I probably missed some in between stuff with that as well.
It's the Shield
It's
fist.
The Shield
It's
fist.
The Shield.
After they run away with the money, they being Judgment Day, we go back to Adam Pearce and the Judgment Day,
who are yelling at each other.
Well, they're yelling at each other, and then also Danhausen and Joe Hendry show up, and now they're yelling at each other. But then all of a sudden, wait! JD McDonough screams, wait! And it's fake human monies.
It's like Monopoly money.
It's like Monopoly money.
It was like $2 trillion human dollars.
Yeah,
human monies in
something
there,
like that.
Which is hilarious.
So JD McDonough gets mad, and Danhausen smiling in the back. He throws the bag behind him, and then all of a sudden, Joe Hendry and Danhausen are pointing behind him, and he threw the bag at Obafemi. like why do I hear boss music? You know what I mean? Like,
dude, that could have gone any worse, could it?
Yeah, he literally threw it at the worst. He could have thrown it at Johnny Gargano or something, but nah.
Who wouldn't have done anything?
Yeah, exactly. Obafemi appears, and then Oba versus JD McDonough is announced, and Dominic says, "That's not fair." And Adam Pearce was like, "Yeah, you're right. That isn't fair. So you'll get a match against Joe Hendry as well." And so now the Judgment Day are in shambles, absolute shambles. after getting cursed and all of this stuff happening.
Obafemi does his entrance. JD McDonough is being forced to the ring by Adam Pearce, and then Joe Hendry and Danhausen chuck both him and Dom into the ring. JD takes the craziest back body drop ever. Fall from grace, 1, 2, 3. Oba defeats JD.
Yeah, I was gonna say my note was that Oba wins in about 45 seconds, and even then, that might have been generous. I didn't time it, but it was quick. But what I think is interesting about the JD McDonough back body drop, I don't know if you've ever seen AJ Styles' interview with Chris Van Vliet where they were talking about that, but JD McDonough and I almost said Chris and AJ Styles had a competition back 1 year ago where they were trying to take the best back body drop. And so now that he's retired, I think JD just won because that was absurd.
Yes, no, he if there was any sort of competition for the best back body drop I've ever seen from a seller, it would probably be that one.
Yeah. And I mean, there's really not much else to say, but I'm sure AJ Styles pulled a Leonardo DiCaprio pointing at the TV.
Oh!
Yeah, exactly. But that was, I mean, I don't want to say it was a good match because it was a quick match, but it was
good squash.
Well, it was the right decision.
It made Oba look like the best wrestler on the planet, and it made JD McDonough look like an idiot. And also made JD McDonough look like a great seller, which he is. So, honestly, it was a win-win for both.
It also elevated Danhausen as well, because curse, again.
And then Solo comes out here.
Yeah, Solo Sikoa, during Michael Cole's ad read, comes out of nowhere. He's not supposed to be on Monday Night Raw.
Which he does say.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to be here.
What? Okay, yeah, we know. We don't care. What do you need to say?
Yeah, with his facial expressions.
And then he says, and I quote, "I have a proposition to make," and then calls out Seth Rollins. I put down here that I am thoroughly confused on why. So Rollins comes out. Rollins asks, "Are we going to talk or are we going to fight?" Solo says, "Talk." There are many what chants. He says that Solo says that he can watch Seth's back at SummerSlam. Seth says, "Let me think about it," and tries to leave. Solo grabs his arm, turns him back around to stop him. Solo says, "You can't think about it. You're going to need my help. I can do to you what you did for Cody."
That's what
and then
I
here
thought
comes
was...
Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, Jacob Fatu then comes out, which no correlation whatsoever. But with the Solo Sikoa and Seth Rollins thing, I just think it's funny that he's comparing himself to Cody Rhodes now, basically.
Yes.
Or I guess you could say he's comparing Seth to Cody and himself to Seth. But even then, that's weird.
And then what was really interesting was the fact that Jacob never tries to go at Seth. And then Seth super kicks Jacob, which really does nothing to Jacob other than just piss him off.
Yeah. I was going to say, he just kind of collapsed in the corner for a moment and then was just ow, and then just mad.
Yeah. And then we get a backstage promo between the two where it's revealed that Jacob has orders he cannot touch Roman Reigns. Well, he cannot touch Seth. Bloodline cannot touch Seth Rollins.
Okay. I didn't see that probably because I skipped through it because that's the fifth from the Shield. That's the chair from the Shield. That's the vest from the Shield. That's the table from the Shield.
Yes. But then we get Ethan Page and Rusev versus Chad Gable and Penta. Rusev before the match goes, "No Gable, no Penta, I crush!" like he's freaking Ivan Drago from Rocky IV.
There's something wrong with this man.
Yes. And then after Penta and Gable make their entrances to Penta's good theme song and Gable's crappy theme song, they get jumped by Page and Rusev, where for the first 5 minutes of this match, it's all Rusev and Ethan Page. Gable gets tagged in, and he's finally able to get his team momentum. And then Penta, when he gets back in, kicks the crap out of Rusev's head.
I may have missed that spot, but I do know that Penta was on fire. Yeah, Penta was on fire in this match. He was crazy.
Yes. And then, unfortunately, when Penta tags out, Gable comes back in, gets put in the accolade. Gable starts hulking up. Rusev stops him and shoves him into Penta. Then an ankle lock. And then when Chad Gable goes down, Penta leaps off of Gable's back and hits a Mexican destroyer on Ethan Page.
Which was wild.
Yes.
Absolutely wild. And then that was, of course, to Page, and Rusev was already in the ankle lock, and Rusev would
Rusev taps, yeah.
But it was a really good, babyface comeback. Because, Gable fighting out of the submission, putting his own in, and then just a really fast-paced win. It was kind of a steal of a win while it was still clean, without it being a cheap heel thing.
And then they show a bunch of the graphics for SummerSlam, which I genuinely think these are some of the worst match graphics that I have seen as being a WWE fan. They look so easily made. It looks like someone took all the time in the world to make the background, and then you just found, the first render you could find of these guys from WWE 2K, and then you just slapped it on.
Just about. It was...
literally, Seth Rollins' his render is his WWE 2K render from last year.
Is it actually? The exact one?
Yes, it is. It is the exact render. There's a fly in my room.
Yeah, I saw it across the camera. Before we move on from the last match, I just wanted to mention, with the whole Chad Gable stuff, he's clapping on 1 and 3 when he's doing his entrance as well, which just
because of course he is.
Adds salt in the wound of how awful this theme song is. I know that your brother would be pissed as a drummer.
You know what? Why don't I... Oh, wait, he's not here. He's at a gig. I was going to say, if he was here, next episode that we have recorded, I will have my brother watch Chad Gable's entrance. We will put it up on here.
Good.
We can... And, we can throw it up there and see what he thinks. Because it would be pretty funny as a drummer that he's clapping on 1 and 3.
I just need to know what he thinks about the song itself.
I will record one. I'll record a video, and I will put it up on YouTube Shorts. But then we go to a Brock and Oba vignette.
He was talking about Hell in a Cell, and he was saying, "Oh, well, we're in WWE, so I can't talk about how violent it is." But then he proceeds to talk about how violent it was. And, man, he was just... when you think about Paul Heyman, you think about him going, "Rah, rah, Brock Lesnar, rah, rah," whatever. He was just like...
Brock Lesnar!
I hope that's going to be amazing on recording.
On the intro?
We couldn't hear anything from your mic. It just peaked the whole time, so you're just going...
Nice. I can't wait, because hopefully it got it on my normal recording.
I don't think you did, but we'll see.
Wait, if I turn off noise suppression.
Well, yeah, maybe do that.
Brock Lesnar!
Jeez. Oh, goodness.
Paul Heyman jump scare.
My point is, he's usually screaming into the mic and whatever, but this time he was just, in a dark room and just very serious, speaking very normally, probably even a lower tone than I am right now. He was talking about the comparisons that a lot of people have talked about online with Obafemi and Brock Lesnar's rookie career. Yeah, exactly. Their rookie years were so similar. And he said that Obafemi will have a violent end to his rookie year by the hands of Brock Lesnar. So, if you want to do it again, you can.
By the hands of Brock Lesnar!
Dominic Mysterio and Joe Hendry, the next match in this whole Danhausen and Judgment Day thing.
Yes. I just want to say, for this Judgment Day thing, I was very surprised because there was no mention or no... Where was Raquel and Roxanne?
Oh,
they were not on the show.
They were not on the show at...
Like, I didn't see them at all.
This might sound stupid, but were they in AAA, maybe?
I don't think so, but, like, Dom was on the show, and he was on AAA too, so it's like... It's not like it's unheard of to see them do both. I mean, El Grande did AAA, and then NXT, and then Raw in the same week.
Yeah, so, right.
Hold up. I'm going to turn my mic monitoring down.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
That might be a really great idea, actually.
You doing Brock Lesnar was like... the skeleton with
totally
the
worth
shield
it, though.
thing.
Worth it, though. Okay. So, there's a problem. My mic monitoring is at 90%.
Oh, that sounds a lot better now.
Dominic Mysterio versus Joe Hendry. Dominic starts off very quick into this match. And then Hendry finally gets the upper hand, and who looks much stronger. Well, who is much stronger than he actually looks.
Joe Hendry is a surprising powerhouse.
Yes. And then once Joe gets going, Liv shoves him into the ring post. And then Danhausen walks out here. Tries to curse Liv. Liv smacks him in the face, and Danhausen runs away. Danhausen and Eosh come back out in the G-Wagonhausen.
In which they are both doing the EO point, whatever she's calling it.
Danhausen's driving, going...
I don't even know if he had his hand on the wheel.
EO and Liv fight. They punch the camera guy in the face on accident. Like, punch him in the face on accident. As the referee is distracted by what is going on the outside of the ring, Danhausen death drop to Dom. Hendry pins him 1, 2, 3. Joe Hendry has beaten Dominic Mysterio.
And that's a crazy way to end it. Quite literally, Joe Hendry did nothing.
Hendry, hit one... He did the scene of 5 Moves of Doom. He hit his fall-away slam, the hit single, and queued up for the standing ovation. And that was literally it. That's all Hendry did the entire match.
And Danhausen just shows up and,
Yeah, and then Danhausen just shows up.
But it just looks so funny on notes because it says, like, Danhausen death drop, Joe wins. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It makes it sound like he does it, but it's not. He's just away from everything.
Yes. And then for this match, afterwards, Danhausen versus Dominic is announced for SummerSlam. And then all the stuff that was announced for next week's Raw. Roman Reigns will be face-to-face with Seth Rollins again. So that will be nap time.
Maybe.
Alpha Academy versus The Vision next week.
Which will be good. Wait,
yes.
If Alpha Academy and the Vision are going up against each other next week, do you think they'll have a match at SummerSlam?
No, unless it ends in a DQ. If it ends in a DQ, then it'll be a no DQ title match.
Okay.
I don't even think it's for the title.
I was going to say, if it's not for the title, then that makes sense, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. Ruka and Raquel, Hendry and Danhausen will have a concert.
I'm excited. I'm excited to hear Danhausen sing. Because last time Joe Hendry had a concert, the Street Profits were singing. We didn't get to talk about it much because it was the condensed notes day. But, man, Street Profits were off-key as hell. Oh, that was crazy.
They were bad. Danhausen is not going to be much better, let's be completely honest. It's going to sound like...
Sweet home Alabama. Sweet home Alabama-hausen. Leonard Skinner-hausen.
And then we have a Brock Lesnar and Obafemi weigh-in. Yeah, I just keep... Every time there's a weigh-in in wrestling, I think of the Deadlock clip of the...
Dudley.
The Dudleys. And, with Bubba starts taking off his wrist tape, and Earl Hebner just goes, "Listen here, son. You are way, way over."
Knight versus Fatu.
Yes, LA Knight is not happy about Solo wanting to help Seth. Says that Seth and Roman makes him sick.
Yeah, he
and
does
then Jacob comes out for the match. But it's mostly just him being pissed at Solo.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yes.
He did cut a really good promo on Roman though as well.
Yes.
So I mean, even with Knight, just like simple things, he's still just amazing on the mic.
Knight gets the upper hand during a commercial. Jacob got caught in the ropes during a dive during this match, and it almost ended badly.
Yeah.
And then LA Knight dribbles his head like a basketball off the announce desk. LA Knight does a superplex. Jimmy is here and comes out. Solo attacks Jimmy. Jacob flies to take both of them out. Jacob gets BFT'd. Jimmy distracts the ref. Here comes Royce Keys. Jay returns. LA Knight takes him out viciously. Pop-up Samoan, Mighty Moonsault. Jacob Fatu defeats LA Knight. Solo jumps Jacob. Usos make the save. 1D to Royce. Death grip to LA Knight. And the Usos and Jacob Fatu have successfully murdered their opponents before SummerSlam.
And I mean, just like anything that possibly could have happened during this segment. I mean, like, at what point... Obviously, this match wasn't going to be just a match, right? But at what point do we lose what a match is supposed to be? It feels like just a segment, with all of this going on. Does it set up the SummerSlam stuff? Sure, that's great. But, like...
This seemed like an AEW unorganized beatdown.
Yeah, exactly.
Is Jay a heel? Is he heel? Is he face? Because the crowd seemed to be happy for him. Then then they booed him. Then
he's face when he's doing stuff by himself. He's heel when he's with the Bloodline. That's my
that makes any sense. But
I mean, it does make some sense when you think about it, because Jay can just be himself and whatever. But when he's with the Bloodline, he's taking orders and all that stuff. So we go on to NXT right after, and
I got to watch this one live.
Oh,
I didn't have work.
Finally.
I could watch this live. I could finally watch a show. Tony D and Naraku cannot touch before the main event, and Stone is on the phone talking with someone who will be there tonight. Thea would like to talk to Robert Stone, and cannot because Natty interrupts.
Thea Hale would end up getting shut down a lot of times through this show, and once again... Poor Robert Stone, man. Every single time. That's 3 things already. There's the Tony and Naraku thing. There's Thea and Natty, and he's talking to someone on the phone. So already in the span of like 30 seconds, he has 3 things on his plate, along with whatever else may happen throughout the rest of the show.
Moreno, Dar, and Sugars versus Dark State, where Romeo Moreno and Noam Dar do the Metaphor thing. Their entrance is very reminiscent of Metaphor, which was the faction with Lash Legend, Mara Sade, and Oro Mensa, who I believe is just going by Main Man Oro.
What did they do that was...
It was... They had everything was blacked out. Noam Dar's music was playing.
And they did the colors.
Noam Dar had his color. Moreno had his color. Mm-hmm. And while they were doing poses, it was the Metaphor entrance, but just with 2, which makes me sad.
Yeah, because they did the same thing with the green and the yellow for the Metaphor, at least for Lash and Jackson.
Yes, they did that for Lash and Jakara Jackson, who is Mara Sade.
Whatever you want to talk about.
Dark State's Tron looks really stupid with the big red X over Saquon Sugar's max. It really looks dumb. They need to change it now. I'm sorry. It just looks really petty and like cartoony.
I feel like that's kind of the point, though.
But like, you're trying to make this like your big scary faction. Like, this is the NXT faction right now, right? This is the one they're pushing the hardest. Birthright exists. I was
gonna say Birthright, but
Birthright exists, but they're not pushing them as hard as they are Dark State.
Yeah.
So if you're going to have a faction like that, why are you giving them such a goofy ass Tron?
Saquon Sugars attacks Dark State early. And then, it was Romeo had a no-hands springboard to the outside of the ring, which was wild.
He did.
And I know that people do that a lot, but especially because we don't get to see him wrestle as much, that was a crazy spot.
How in the hell is Noam Dar still on NXT?
Yeah, he's like Unk now.
He has been there since NXT UK was a thing.
Yeah.
Which was
Sean
2020
Spears is still
at
in
least.
NXT.
Okay, but Sean Spears at least actually went to the main roster at one point.
Well, yeah.
He was on SmackDown as Ty Dillinger, Noam Dar has been stuck in NXT for years, and I don't know if that's partially his injury history or stuff like that.
just not finding the right time.
Yes, but like I'm surprised they haven't brought him up yet. He would do wonders for the U.S. title division on
Yeah, you're right.
On SmackDown.
We would have another wall spot just like we would at the Great American Bash, where Saquon Sugars would send Dion Lennox through the wall, NXT tower thing, whatever you want to call it, and then Dark State would win while Saquon Sugars was away from the ring.
Sorry, hold up. Dark State win. Saquon and Dion Lennox are still fighting after the bell. Afterwards, we go back to the NXT locker room, who are all pissed for different reasons.
I forgot that he wasn't actually in this segment, but still, Robert Stone having to handle all this BS.
Yeah, this poor guy. Gray and Lola Vice have their face-to-face, with which Kendall Gray has like one of the coolest Titantrons I've ever seen.
She does.
It's so cool. Like where they're going.
Before we do go to this segment, with the topic of Kendall Gray, in that last segment backstage, she was having some tension, between Parker, but specifically Ren Sinclair, who, they're buddy, pal, friends, whatever. It really seems like Kendall Gray's going to go fully heel in just about no time.
I don't want to see that. I really don't.
But we're seeing it right now. You know what I mean?
It's just, I feel like every time NXT has a good tag team in the women's division, they break it up pretty much instantly. They got rid of Jakara Jackson, Mara Sade, just as they were about to bring Metaphor up to the main roster. They broke up Zaruka for this segment. Vice names all of the champions that were before her in NXT. Like, she named Stephanie Vaquer. She names JC Jane. She names Lyra Valkyria. But she did forget to say Julia, which she does not say. She has a very heel promo. Ren Sinclair is making funny faces behind Kendall like she's expressions. Lola Vice and Kendall Gray will have an underground match on August 4th.
Yeah.
Which Kendall Gray says, and I quote...
I was about to say...
She says, "When I'm done kicking your ass, you can go back to shaking it."
Crazy! And even Ren Sinclair,
Ren Sinclair goes,
"Oh no!" Just like a super hot fire video,
Yes, dude, like a super hot fire. It's hilarious.
But I'm not a rapper.
And then we get another Tony D and Naraku vignette.
Yeah.
Keanu Carver and Hank Walker fight. Hank gets right up at Keanu off rip. Do you guys remember when Hank Walker, his original gimmick was that he was a janitor?
Oh, goodness, I must not have been watching NXT.
That's a real thing.
I did not know
that. That was a real thing. That was probably pre-WrestleMania 40, but it's still a thing that happened. Tank starts giving, Mick from Rocky level motivation, and then Keanu Carver just throws him.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't last long.
And then Keanu Carver pins Hank Walker. Keanu attacks after the bell. Tank tries to save him and gets dropped on the desk. EK Prosper returns and makes the save.
They're really making EK look good because
yes,
realistically, if Keanu Carver's in ring, who am I gonna say who's gonna make the save for the good guys? EK Prosper is someone I'd expect to just get absolutely it on. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Just
because
the
he and
weight
Carver
difference.
have such great chemistry.
Yeah, that it's
Carver.
Somewhat believable. But I just think it's interesting that they're making EK beat Carver, whether it's in matches or in beatdowns or whatever. Carver can't touch him, which it should be the other way around. In a real setting,
So then we get to a very important segment, which is disguised as a throwaway. Natty gives an invite to Thea to the dungeon, while simultaneously calling Jada Parker a soft bitch. A quote. Thea turns it down, and as the dungeon walk away, the Nikita Lyons takes Thea Hale's towel that she has on her shoulder. Remember this.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember this.
Remember that. Nikita Lyons steals Thea Hale's towel. That sounds very random. It was very random at the time, but it was indeed important.
So then we get a Shiloh Hill video.
A Shiloh Hill and Danhausen video, which I do just want to mention that this was from Raw from the night before, as it says.
Yeah,
it says it happened the day before because Danhausen would be on Raw, so Shiloh traveled to Raw.
So Shiloh Hill is on the dark web to find a new tooth, and he gets it from this guy he just calls like Dan. He goes in to Raw, like shows us around a little bit, walks through, and as he peeks through the curtain, he ends up being in Danhausen's lab, where Danhausen is chilling, and he goes, "Hey, I need a favor. There's a guy from NXT. His name's Tristan Angels. Very obnoxious, very British. He crushed my tooth. So he wanted a replacement for Danhausen. But Danhausen requests some human monies. He gives him Bitcoin for it.
Yeah, he literally gives
actual
him
Bitcoin.
Cryptocurrency. Danhausen accepts and gives him a tooth from his jar. And as Shiloh leaves, Danhausen is trying to jam the crypto into his old computer, old like 90s Windows computer.
Dude, that computer's older than my dad, I guarantee it. And then Danhausen says, "Nope, I hope it's not the cursed tooth." What?
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that line. Yeah, he says, "I hope it's not the cursed tooth," and that could be unfortunate because if it is, that means that Shiloh's cursed, and we know how that goes because LeBron James is in Philly, and the Knicks won, and all this stuff.
And then we get Jada versus Natty.
I do just want to mention something, actually, really quick about the Shiloh and Danhausen thing. This, I believe, would be the first time since Danhausen's debut that he has cursed a babyface, if this is a curse.
I'm trying to think if he's ever cursed another babyface before. I think you're right.
Well, not on WWE. I'm sure it's happened somewhere, but...
Yeah. Well, yes. I think, like, when it comes to babyfaces, I think the only one I could really think of that he's cursed is William Regal. When he was with the Blackpool Combat Club. And it wasn't even on television.
Yeah.
It made William Regal start convulsing.
Yeah, that's right, because he sold that like crazy. I remember that.
Yes, he sold the thing like he just got being shot.
We will now go to Jada Parker and Natty Neidhart.
So Lyons and Petrovic get involved pretty early. Natty and Jada slap the crap out of each other. Mm-hmm. And then Parker gets some sort of injured knee. Sorry, I'm moving my camera a little bit.
Yeah, and she's I want to say sells that for the whole match, but she did look actually hurt.
Yes.
And it's a little bit concerning. I do want to mention during some of Parker's moves, Booker T done lost his mind again.
Booker T, again, is tweaking out on commentary for this match again.
Baby,
one more time. A king!
What was he saying this time? It was the... What's the move that Parker does where it's like it's in the corner? I don't remember exactly.
The what it was. Teardrop.
I guess
where she jumps up and
leg drop or something. I don't remember exactly.
Where they have the person like across the turnbuckle like this, and then
that's
drops
right.
Her
and
bum.
I don't remember what Booker said, but I wrote down that he was not okay, and I
think it was like "oh yeah" or something like that.
Something
which is. Very Booker. Natty puts on a sharpshooter. Jada Parker puts a sharpshooter on center of the ring.
I just want to mention with Natty's sharpshooter, Jada Parker not only did a rope break, she did like a whole ring break where she fell out of the ring trying to kill it.
She fell completely out of the ring.
That was kind of funny.
It was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty darn funny.
But Jada Parker had the sharpshooter in.
Yes. And then... you could see during this part where Nikita and Petrovic are debating throwing in the towel that they have.
The towel that was from Thea Hale. And so they start fighting and tugging over it because Lyons wants to throw it in.
Yes, and then as it progresses, she's in the hold, you see it fly in. But as the camera pans and the Petrovic and Lions are looking a complete other direction. If camera keeps panning, Thea Hale threw the towel.
Thea stole the towel back, threw it in, and the ref called the match against Natty and had Parker win by submission.
Yes.
Which was a very unique and hilarious, but clever spot. I mean,
it's a great way to set up another feud.
Yeah, I loved it. And, there's only so much, especially on the main roster with WWE, you don't see them experiment with stuff as much. This is different, and I like it.
Then we get another Tony D. Naraku vignette, and then Kalani Jordan goes to complain to Robert Stone. Birthright versus OTM gets announced next week. Bronco might have to pull double duty at Heat Wave because there is a AAA event the same day.
Yep.
Then we get Nico Vance versus Shawn Spears, where I put down, I really hope Shawn Spears gets his Resurrection of Perfection theme that he used at the beginning of his AEW run by Wrestle and Flow. He does not get a new theme. Yeah, it's just his old soundbite.
Yeah, he literally... So... let's see. So the calling enter, and it's to, what is it? Like, the truth will prevail, but the darkness will bring it to light, or
it's
something.
The normal calling intro.
Yeah,
and
but
then
of course
that was usually said by Spears.
Yeah, but they removed Spears' voice. So now when Spears comes out, it's the same exact thing, the same saying, but it's just him saying it. And then there's no music, and he just appears behind everyone and starts attacking. I don't know. I think personally what it is they will end up giving him a new theme. It's just that they had to do something quick in the span of the week or whatever that they had.
Yeah, I'm assuming that was probably it.
Yeah. Maybe they'll AI generate. Maybe they'll give him free ride.
Izzy Dame was a distraction multiple times in this match, but Spears looked really good. I also put down, why is Nico Vance not allowed to come out with the Reality of Wrestling Championship, considering it's the fact that Booker T runs that promotion?
He doesn't actually talk about it on air. And they never.
I know, but
they kind of silence the Reality of Wrestling thing. They'll mention that blah 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 has trained with Booker T or whatever, but they kind of
just let him come out with the title.
Yeah,
just let him come out with it.
I agree. I think the whole title thing might be to confuse or to avoid confusing fans who don't know about ROW.
Well, they let Kalani Jordan and all the Trick come out with the TNA belts.
Well, yeah, but they have a partnership.
They have a partnership with ROW too. They wouldn't have Nico Vance.
Yeah, but you know who they prioritize. You know what I mean?
I guess, but still.
I agree with you, though.
Spears calls Vance a bitch. Spears grabs his chair. Lizzie Rain takes out Izzy Rain. And Spears pulls an Eddie Guerrero at the end of this match and wins by DQ.
Which was awesome.
Yes.
So awesome.
Yes.
And yeah, I don't know what else to say, but that was just a perfect ending to a fun match. And it was cheap. It was cheap enough to the point where they can have a rematch down the line, whether it's an ODQ or whatever.
Cam Hendricks is backstage with Robert Stone, where he says he is at 67.2 knee health.
67.2. Am I right or am I right? Damn me up, Donovan. Hey.
Miles Bourne would like an NQCC tag title match, and Miles says that he will put his title up if he can get a tag match next week. Well, he will put his title up next week if they can get a tag title match the week after.
Yes.
Cam Hendricks then says that he is magically 127 or something percent
107% chance.
107%
He's doing Steiner math.
Yes, he's doing Steiner math mixed in with the Randy Orton RNN gimmick. He's magically cleared, and will challenge Miles Bourne next week.
And with that, the whole Miles and Heights tag shot after that match will still be in play. And Tavion Heights is so pumped that he is tweaking in the background.
Yes.
I don't know
he goes to the back, he's like...
he was like.
Let me demonstrate real quick.
He was like.
What he was. Let me demonstrate if I can get out of this chair. Woo! Let's go! Woo! That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he started bumping his chest. He looked like Designer after his XXL freestyle.
Then we get Skylar Ray versus Reina Volcan. Would you like to talk about this one?
Well, once again, Booker's done lost his mind.
Yeah.
The volcano's coming, baby! Oh yeah! Didn't he say something? I think he may have made a joke about like the volcano bursting and something weird like that.
He probably did. He's Booker.
I really liked Ray's gear in this. The
me too.
Blue and the white. I don't know. I thought that was cool. But this match was the perfect example of why actual sports, specifically fight sports, have weight classes.
Yeah.
Because Ray is like 2 pounds in comparison to Reina Volcan. And Reina would end up dominating and winning in something. It wasn't really a squash match, but it was a very one-sided.
Skylar Ray also in this match does multiple unnecessary backflips.
Skylar was just joy and whimsy while Reina Volcan was death.
We get it. I know you did gymnastics.
Exactly.
I get it. Stop.
But yeah, not too much to take away from this besides, Reina Volcan, as we expected, is dominant in her debut.
And her great finisher.
Yeah, just
the torture rack.
Just
it's so simple.
And it just dead.
Yes, like the torture rack is such a simple move, and it just looks like it hurts like hell.
Yeah, it's scary.
So, and no one else is going to use a torture rack in 2026. Like everyone's trying to figure out what's the coolest way I can throw an opponent or take like this nasty 720 super kick RKO cutter. Like it's just a bunch of buzzwords. Shiloh Hill interrupts Robert Stone eating Kentucky Fried Chicken popcorn chicken.
Which, to be fair, I know that this was like a shill for their sponsor and everything, but man, I could go for KFC, man. That does sound good.
Yep.
Come on.
Shiloh sounds like a crazy person.
Yeah.
During this, while he's trying to get a match.
Shiloh Hill
is probably due to the
in
cursed tooth.
His alpha male wolf phase where he's too much Andrew Tate and all this stuff, and he's walking in just like, hey, you don't want to. You're really starting to get on
I'm the alpha male around here. Me!
Like, you don't want to see my evil werewolf side when my eyes turn red at midnight and whatever. Once he gets his match with Angels next week, which is announced, he's like, yay! Back to normal and all this
Back to normal, Shiloh. And then he steals all of the, at least 5 boxes of popcorn chicken.
It was plenty. It had to be, close to 10. Because they had so many boxes there.
Plenty.
So many boxes.
He steals plenty. And so, then Stone gets super sad.
Yeah, Stone
if you steal my popcorn chicken, I think I'd probably fire you.
He's like, I really wanted my Kentucky Fried Chicken popcorn chicken 8-piece box that's now in stores starting tomorrow or whatever. You know what I mean? Like he's just dragging it out to make
egregiously. It's an egregious
exactly
ad.
Like side eye, all that stuff.
Yeah, man, I really wish I had some Kentucky Fried Chicken popcorn chicken from KFC.
Exactly.
Announced for next week: OTM versus Birthright. Lizzie Rain versus Izzy Dame, Cam Hendricks versus Miles Bourne, Shiloh Hill versus Tristan Angels. But now, we have Tony D versus Naraku in a NXT Championship street fight. Where Tony D has a bulletproof vest. Okay.
But before that starts, an SUV has arrived. And the door opens. And the person...
For a foot.
The person that Robert Stone was on the phone with is here, and
they are wearing shoes, so we know it's not. We know it's not Umaga. So Tony D comes out and he's wearing a bulletproof vest, and he looks like a Temu version of Big Dog Roman.
Which Big Dog Roman looks like a Temu version of something anyway.
Yeah. It's the Shield vest. It's the Shield. The Shield vest. It's the Shield. Like the Shield. He looks like
the Shield fist.
The Shield fist.
The Shield theme song. The Shield. Why? Hold on. Why did they not change Roman Reigns' theme song after he?
They did, very minimally.
Well, they removed the
same
Shield
song.
start.
Yes, they removed the Shield start and they tweaked it a little bit. If you listen to the back-to-back, you can hear the difference in the drums, but it's very, very minuscule.
It's the same. Anyways.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing. But,
Tony D'Angelo and Naraku, we gotta focus on.
Yes, so Naraku missed Tony off rip, and then throws Tony through a barricade.
Yeah, that took no time. Just
less than 2 minutes.
Missed to the eyes, thrown into the barricade. Later, I think it may have been like right after this, Tony D'Angelo like took water from a fan and just starts pouring it into his eyes.
Yes, but before that, Naraku pulls everything out from under the ring. Naraku sets up 4 chairs in the middle of the ring and suplexes Tony D through it. Naraku goes to kick Tony and kicks through the chair and just breaks it. And Booker T does not like Fit Finlay. Booker, is there anybody that you would go to these lengths for? He goes, Fit Finlay. I hated that guy.
Like the most random person to name drop.
And then, so as you said earlier, a fan gives Tony D a glass of water bottle. Tony D uses it to wash out his eyes. Very smart.
Yeah.
And then he spears Naraku through the barricade.
Yeah.
And throws a ladder at Naraku's face.
About that. Yeah. Dangerous spot. I've always kind of been curious about spots like that because the ladder, that spot doesn't really elevate the match that much, and it's also insanely dangerous because if you don't get your arms up in the right way and whatever, then
Tony gets a table. Cheap pop from the crowd. Naraku sends Tony through the table, and then tries to miss Tony, and Tony puts his hands up and blocks it.
Yeah.
Nice job. You've done something that no one else has done, and being an actual smart person in professional wrestling.
Oh, well, Io did it. Io Sky did it in her match with Asuka this year.
Okay, yeah, she did. You're right.
The board. But besides that, yeah. But this is something that Io didn't do, which is Naraku then shoves his hands into the eyes of Naraku.
He rakes his eyes with the mist.
Yeah, exactly. The mist right back to him. And then pins him after another table spot.
Yes, but before that, Naraku takes a kendo stick to the dick.
I did not see that.
He takes a kendo stick right to the dick.
Oh, oops. Oh, you know what? Another thing from this match that's kind of random. After the announce desk spot, we got a good shot of Booker T's Jordans.
We did.
Which were
We did. He had some nice J's on.
The more important thing.
Yes. Tony D is holding up his title. And there's music that plays. It is Mike Santana.
Mike Santana! Let's go!
Mike Santana.
I'm so excited.
And the commentators do a new face is here. We've seen that guy before. The former TNA champion. We know who he is.
But doesn't say...
But they do not mention him as Mike Santana once. To Dynamite?
Yeah, to Dynamite. And we start off with Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley.
They're best friends.
Yeah, they're best friends and talking about like the future and whatever. And then Jon Moxley enters. And I don't know what he said.
There is no tension at all.
Yeah, that's right. He was like, there's no tension. We're just good buddies or whatever the heck.
And then Kenny goes, well, there wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, it's kind of a nothing segment besides the fact that they're going to be in a team later in the night. And
yeah,
that's about all. I don't know what else to
then we get a bonkers TNT title match.
Oh, yeah. Darby Allin and Kevin Knight.
Darby Allin
is
still trying to die.
Every spot. Every
immediately
single spot.
Before this match, Kevin Knight is like walking around the ring trying to be cautious. Darby dives on him. They start fighting the crowd. Darby just murders Kevin Knight with a clothesline, then dives from the apron. Now the match starts once they actually get him in the ring, which is like at least 5 to 6 minutes outside. Darby, they go back outside the ring immediately. Darby goes balls first into a barricade.
I think you might be a little bit out of order because there were a few spots before that.
Oh, are you talking? Oh yeah, there was the Darby Allin jumps from the ring post to the outside onto Kevin Knight,
who is on a table, and guess what?
Who is on a table.
Guess what? Table didn't break.
Nope.
How I bring nothing to the table when I'm the table.
Yeah, no, this was
I
nasty.
am the table.
Yes, I am the table. But then Darby breaks the steps with his head after Kevin Knight does the Matt Dickey move. You know, the slingshot from all the Matt Dickey games?
Yeah, but...
He does the Matt Dickey thing.
But not only that, before this spot, when Kevin Knight brings Darby up to hit his head, he says, "I'm gonna do the Benoit!" Right before he hits straight
on live
into
television.
the camera.
Live television. Darby is now busted open. He then does an avalanche code red into a normal code red.
Yeah, 2 back-to-back amazing code red spots.
Darby's also busted open now.
You said that already.
Okay, I'm just making sure I said that.
By the way, Darby is busted open.
Yes. Then there's a coffin drop from the top of the ring post to the outside.
Yeah, which was right on the ground, right?
Yes.
Like, dude, that's concrete under, like, a little bit of padding. Yeah. Darby! Please!
Yes. And then there's a ref bump.
Yeah, ref takes out a bump. Ref is taken out with the body of Darby Allin because Knight pushed him into the ref. Oh, and by the way, Darby Allin's busted open.
Darby Allin does a Scorpion Death Drop. Kevin Knight grabs the belt, the TNT title, and is like, well, actually, no, Darby grabs it first. He was like, I'm going to hit him, thinks better of it, and drops it.
Mm-hmm.
Goes up to go do a coffin drop, and then Kevin Knight meets him there and smashes the belt over his head.
Yeah.
Darby falls back. Knight goes the other side of the ring, coast to coast, which is how he hospitalized Darby.
Yeah, the first time.
UFO splash, 1, 2, 3. Kevin Knight retains the TNT title and has the most TNT title defenses.
Yeah, that was...
in TNA history.
That was a...
Well, TNA history. In
AEW.
AEW history.
Yeah. That was not only just an amazing match, but when you mentioned the 1, 2, 3, it was a... 1... 2, because the ref was doing a slow count after being wiped out. So that was a pretty funny moment. But it was interesting to me that Allin stayed down all that time. Because, you know, when you see slow counts, that's when you expect someone to kick out. And then it's like, oh, he would have won if that wasn't for whatever happening and all that stuff. But no, he just won right off of that. During him celebrating in the ring, Fletcher and Okada enter the ring, and then before the next match, they do an entire Don Callis family interview.
Yes, all 4,000 people in the Don Callis family. Fletcher and Kevin Knight get into it. Mm-hmm. Fletcher says, you know what? All of you are barred from ringside for this match and for his match against Bandito.
Yeah, the one at
Redemption, which is happening probably right now.
Definitely happening right now. Matter of fact.
No, the match. The match.
Oh, I thought you were just talking about the show.
No, I know the show's going on.
Why am I lagging?
So we go to Proto-Kata versus Brodito. Don Callis is there for commentary. There's a Death Valley driver on the apron, which looked pretty nasty.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that now. That was
Kyle Fletcher's taunt, which is this, looks a little similar to something, doesn't it?
It does a bit, now that you say that.
It looks like he's cursing somebody. Like, it's. Yeah. I know Fletcher's is kind of like this, but like...
with Housen being in AEW before, maybe there was some sort of thing. I don't know exactly what the whole connection is there.
It looks too much like a curse. Like, I would rather you just do this. Like, you would just point to him up here. Mm-hmm. Like, that would make sense. You just do like this, like you're using a sight or something.
Yeah.
But instead, he puts his other arm out, and it looks like he's cursing somebody.
Yeah. There's one spot in this where Fletcher is sent to the moon by Bandito.
Yes.
Like, just powers him up, and I think he took
a pop up
bump.
Something.
I don't remember. I think he may have just put him up and then he took a face bump or something like that.
And then before this, Kyle Fletcher catches Bandito out of the air with a super kick while Bandito is doing a moonsault. Pretty much does the Adam Cole Ricochet spot.
Oh,
which was awesome.
Yeah.
Towards the end of this match, a Rainmaker to Fletcher on accident. Okada's taken out, 21 plex, and Bandito win. And
there's
specifically, Bandito pins Fletcher. Specifically.
Yeah, that is a good point because that is interesting with the champion dynamic there to see, who will end up being on top come Redemption.
Kyle Fletcher is very pissed. Okada is going like this.
Yeah, Okada, I'm sorry, please. Against American.
He's like
Kyle
praying.
Is screaming at him. The poor
guy.
Kyle
Fletcher is losing it.
Don Callis' family
Okada
is the most dysfunctional family.
Yes. So then the Don Callis family try to attack. Andrade comes out and the Don Callis family run away. Andrade still has the Dynamite Diamond ring, which they put emphasis on.
Painmaker has a promo, and he says L's coming. That's about all we get from that.
Foley is here.
Yeah, Mick Foley is doing the face-to-face for Tekla and Willow Nightingale. And Tekla says that Willow is putting on a mask, which I think is interesting because later
And she's not drunk this time.
She's not drunk. She's just herself. We'll put it that way. She's
just classic Tekla.
Yeah. But Nightingale, especially on the kickoff show for Redemption, was talking about how she's dealt with depression and stuff and having to put on this character. And so Tekla saying now that she's putting on a mask is a very interesting and kind of real statement. I don't think that's like a hot take or something to say.
Yes.
Because, Willow has such a... I don't know if this is a comparison that should be made, but like a happy gimmick kind of similar to Bayley with the hugger stuff, right?
Yes, it's very akin, yeah.
Bayley's come out to talk about how much she hated that gimmick.
When you gotta hug a bunch of weirdos all day, like that's...
Yeah, and...
That probably sucks.
So many wrestling fans don't take showers, but...
If you're watching this, take a shower.
Please.
You can listen to this podcast while you shower. Shower.
Oh, well, I guess you could.
You can. You are allowed to. There's not like you're not mitching much with our faces. We're not doing anything overly dumb, but except Henry. Tekla smacks Willow with a glove and hides behind Mick Foley. And then spikes Willow with a mic. Mick has done nothing to mediate this at all.
Yeah, Mick actually the whole time they were cutting promos on each other was like, stay away. He's got his arm in the middle and everything like the whole time.
He's like, hey kids, let's not fight.
Yeah,
but then they end up fighting. They get to the ring, pounced by Willow.
Mm-hmm.
And I also wrote, I think Willow Nightingale would have fit in great with the New Day.
Oh goodness, you know what? That reminds me of something.
Wait a minute. Did that just say what I think it said? Wait a dang minute. Sorry. I just got a big life update. Woo!
What happened?
Sorry, I'm happy. I just got off a double shift for Friday.
Yay!
I only have to work the beginning of the day.
This will only take a moment. But I've been wanting to talk about this, and we finally got a chance to. With the New Day, people talk about how awful the whole heel run was and how WWE did them dirty. Even though I understand that, they had such an unlucky situation with the fact that they had the whole Biggie replacement storyline, and I forgot who it was came in as Biggie's
Odyssey Jones.
Odyssey Jones, and then he did the stupid stuff that he did. So I'm just thinking, if Odyssey Jones didn't get into the legal trouble that he did, we could be looking at that entire storyline in such a different light.
Yes, and I also believe that, I will say, I do agree with the fact that their heel run was not booked well. I think up until WrestleMania 41, it was booked very well. Mm-hmm. Like, the turn was done amazingly, and then they won the tag titles. That was great, but as soon as they got those tag titles, it's like they didn't care about how they booked them anymore, and they dropped the belts within, like a month or two.
But then also, they probably had so much planned with Odyssey Jones.
Yeah.
And then, now that whole thing was thrown in the garbage, and they had to pivot, and they struggled to pivot.
To be fair, it was an idea that the New Day came up with to turn heel. Like, they have been wanting to do that.
Yeah.
Like, Big E said on a podcast, I think it was with Chris Van Vliet, that they said that the New Day wanted to be heel for a long, long time, ever since Big E got hurt. Mm-hmm. So, that was the way that they came up with it. It was a way to have Big E involved, but still not physically.
Yeah.
So, they can still do that.
It's just a shame. That's going to end up being one of the biggest wrestling what-ifs. Because,
yes.
Oh man, yeah. What if Odyssey Jones was a dumb person? Anyways,
Sheeta Maya vignette.
Yep.
Yippee.
Hype promo. That's about all we know. Besides, we get Maya World and Willow Nightingale versus Sheeta and Tekla on Collision, and that will end up being the main event.
And then we end up getting Jay White versus Clark Connors, where during Jay White's entrance, Juice Robinson is in full gear. Juice does not have a match tonight.
Was he?
I
didn't notice that.
He is just in full gear, like vest on, pants, everything. Juice Robinson is in full wrestling attire during this entrance,
and it's funny,
and he does not have a match.
This reminds me of, I think it was last week when we talked about Royce Keys, how he came out during the Jimmy Uso promo and said, I'm not here to fight. In
full gear. I'm not here to fight, he says in a singlet. A singlet. Like, yes you are. But, Juice sends the Bang Bang Gang to the back. Clark Connors is not with David Finlay. Clark Connors, during this match, pats Jay White on the head and says, "Good doggy."
Did that happen?
Yes, he does. He just goes, "Oh, good doggy, good doggy." These two have really good chemistry, and Jay White wins with a jumped arm triangle.
Yeah, that was an interesting submission.
It was really well done.
Yeah.
Like, the catch was done really, really well. But that's really all I had for that until Clark Connors tries to attack him after the bell. Blade Runner, Finlay comes out, hits him with a shillelagh. The Bang Bang Bang, the Bang Bang Gang come out, and they fight Finlay, and they chase them out. You're right, they chase them out, and Clark Connors is being rolled out in a rolly chair by Fit Finlay. Yeah. Like, it's like a gaming chair. Yep. He's being rolled to the back, and then we were gonna get a Christian Cage and Adam Copeland promo,
and I really want to talk about this because
go right ahead.
I don't know. It might be just my dumb sense of humor, but this may have been the most that I laughed during a segment all week because they were like, Pac and Claudio, they just die at the hands of Pac and Claudio.
Like, immediately.
Yeah, literally perfect timing.
You guys we had to challenge, you got...
It was like,
boom!
It was, you know what? No, he didn't even say anything after Pac and Claudio. It was literally, they were just saying, with the Death Riders, we could get we could get our hands on Pac and Claudio, and then they just died.
Yes. No. Say their name and they appears.
Yeah, and they appears.
And they appears.
They appear.
Pac accepts the tag title challenge.
Yeah, that's basically all you need to know.
That's what you get out of
from that.
So now we get to a really good no DQ match.
Yes,
this
Sisters
tag
of
match.
Sin and the Divine Dominion. Yeah.
There you go. The Sisters of Sin attack before the bell with kendo sticks. Julia hits on accident Sky with a screwdriver.
Yeah.
And then
just like
she gets.
I think this show took. You'll see later what I'm talking about, but there were many spots of tag partners accidentally hitting each other.
Yes.
I don't know if that was planned ahead of time or the match producers just accidentally did that or what. But
yeah. Which busts open Sky Blue. Then Julia Hart takes an electric chair drop onto a chair. Face first. Yeah. Nasty bump. Megan Bayne straight up chucks a chair at Sky Blue. Mm-hmm. And then we go to commercial break, and the Sisters of Sin are immediately back in control.
Yeah.
And then send Megan Bayne through a table. Mm-hmm. Bayne starts literally army crawling back to the ring. All the women have their belts. The sisters get the upper hand. DDT onto the belts. Bayne throws Sky Blue through a table. Julia Hart goes into the Black Widow submission. Gets countered out of it. Pile driver. And the Divine Dominion win.
And were they calling it the Black Widow or not?
It was the actual term for it, but I'm calling it the Black Widow because more people will know what the Black Widow submission is than the actual thing I'm about to say.
I didn't hear like what they said, but I was like, AJ Lee, like that's just like
it's the Shield Fist. And then we get a backstage promo by the Bang Bang Gang, and they want a double chain match at Redemption. Then we have Omega, Ospreay, and Mox versus Hechicero, Brian Cage, and Jake Doyle. How is this even fair for the Don Callis family? Ospreay, Omega, and Jon Moxley.
Only thing you could say that could be fair is the fact that this is three. I mean, what you got one mutual friend and two people who hate each other in Omega Mox, and then
yes, but at the same time, how was that even fair? It's Omega, Moxley, and Ospreay.
My point is, we will quickly learn that the team chemistry does make it a little bit more even than we would expect.
Yes,
because
Kenny did not want to tag Mox during this match.
Yeah,
but
not at all. And at one point during this was... Oh, no, that was Will. But Will Ospreay was going to tag, and he was going...
Yes, Will ends up hot tagging Kenny over Mox, which was a little surprising. Omega does the Death Riders corner fast strike spot, but then Omega does a V-trigger to Mox on accident. Mm-hmm. And then Hechicero pulls out.
I do just want to put some emphasis on the Death Rider spot. I think it's funny that Omega joined in for that.
Yes. No, I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, you just don't expect that.
Yeah, Ospreay and Mox start doing it, and they're like, wait a minute. Let me get in there. Yeah, and then they all keep going.
Exactly. He's that's his one brief moment of I want to know what it's like to be in the Death Riders. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hechicero does this crazy flying submission that I've never seen in my life, which was pretty awesome. I think they were calling it the guillotine. It wasn't a guillotine choke, but it was with his legs.
That's what he was calling it.
Yeah. The baby faces get back to it. Hidden Trigger, Death Riders, and Kenny beat the Don Callis family. Kenny tries to smooth things over with Mox. They get heated. Will separates them. Omega punches Ospreay in the face on accident.
Yeah.
And now everybody's in the ring heated. The Bucks are here. They brawl with Kenny and
the Young Bucks are here because,
hey, they're Kenny's friends.
Well, not only that, I just think about Dave Meltzer.
Yeah. Roppongi Vice get involved and get dropped pretty quickly by Kenny by himself. And then Kevin Knight shows up, jumps over the ropes with the TNT Championship, smashes Kenny over the face with it, which busts him open big time.
Yes,
and Kevin Knight stands over him with both belts.
With the title and with Omega busted open, that was a sick visual. Like that was awesome, and that's so cool for Kevin Knight to have that moment because that just
standing over the guy that's hailed as one of probably a top 10 in-ring wrestler of all time.
Maybe, yeah.
With
Crazy.
The world title and your title.
There was
over your head.
There was one moment in here during the actual match that I'm not sure if you mentioned, but Kenny Omega kneed Moxley.
Yes, I did say that.
Oh, you did say that. Okay, I wasn't sure because there was that. Oh yeah, that's right. But there was that. Then there was the Will Punch, and then there's the other 2 spots in the night. There were 4 friendly fire spots.
Yeah.
In this entire show. So I really think that the match producers didn't go over.
They were in cahoots.
I have a feeling they didn't show each other their plans because there's no way that they were just like, yeah, let's do the same exact thing for every single tag match.
Yeah, same tag match. Yep, let's do the same thing every time.
Sounds good to me. Afterwards, we go on to TNA. TNA. Ooh, there's a surprising amount to talk about today and a lot for me to rant about, and we'll get to that later.
Yes, and I am excited for one match, which we'll get to later, the Righteous Deletion. I'm excited.
Ooh, yeah. That was good. It was
yeah.
Yeah.
But we start off with Elijah, who is playing Seven Nation Army in the middle of the ring.
I was wondering.
You don't know what's happening. It's just boom, boom, boom,
I mean,
boom,
walk with Elijah. Like, I get that. The walk with Elijah chant, whatever. But, like, I don't know. It was a little bit confusing. And, like, you can see... So, I label promos as blue and matches as red. When I first saw it, I thought it was going to be a promo. And so I had to scratch it out. Because I thought, like, why is he... once the match started, I was like, why did he do that?
But this ends up being with Moose and Elijah versus AJ Francis and Frankie Kazarian.
Mm-hmm.
When Moose tags in, Frankie Kazarian runs away and immediately tags out.
Yeah, that was a very quick... it starts with Elijah and Frankie, and did they even fight?
I think they fight a little bit.
They may have locked up for a moment, and then tagged in Moose, and then Frankie was like, tagged in AJ, and then, like AJ's gonna do anything, right? But whatever. Yeah.
And then mid leg drop to Moose during this match, Kazarian just yells, "Son of a bitch!" While he's springboarding in the air for a leg drop, just screams "son of a bitch" at him, for no reason at all. Then Expression gets involved, cash out. AJ Francis pins Elijah for the win.
Yeah, not only that, but also earlier in the match, there was another spot where Expressions would trip Elijah into AJ Francis. For that spot you were talking about, Elijah was on the top rope doing like an Undertaker-style spot and was
getting ready for the Drifter Destroyer.
Yeah. Shook the rope, and then he fell into Elijah and the cash out.
I think Elijah likes the Undertaker a little bit.
Maybe a little
considering
bit.
The fact he stole 2 of his finishers.
Yeah. But
Old School and a pile
driver. Yeah.
Yes.
But that being said, my point is Expressions is getting a lot of the main focus in this storyline.
Yes.
I don't
because
I feel fine with it, but like I don't know what you think about it, and
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I like Expressions here. Expressions goes to hit Elijah with a guitar, but gets hit with the Highwaymen's Farewell. So now on to the next thing. The TNA roster are voting for their number 1 contender. You're not allowed to vote for yourself, which is
I'm glad that you said that because you were talking about that last week.
Because I would have voted for me. I would have voted for me. You would have voted for you. Don't act like you wouldn't. If you were in a wrestling company and you were a wrestler,
I would probably already have the world title.
Okay, here comes your favorite match of the night. Your favorite match of the night.
No, it's not. Elena Black and Wendy Chu is... Oh, goodness. Remember... Yeah, by the way, Wendy Chu's sleep gimmick is gone. Which apparently this happened before she won the Evolve title. This match was horrible. I mean, like, Wendy Chu's explanation for it was that she had therapy, which, in a way, I get that.
That's a little funny.
These bracket matches, they have this time limit, right? This, like, 10-minute time limit for the matches. I literally have no notes between the start of the match and the time limit is up, and it's a double elimination from the contest.
I have a couple of notes.
I don't, because this match was a snooze fest. They did nothing, and then they all got eliminated. That was the whole match.
Here's what I put. First one was that they patted each other's heads during this match for some reason. Elena Black was really just yelling for the sake of yelling for half of this match. There was a lariat that took forever to set up. There was a turnbuckle DDT, which was kind of wicked, where Wendy Chu was, like, set up like Shattered Dreams. Like, she set up Elena like Shattered Dreams and then did a DDT. But the crowd was dead.
Oh, wow.
And everything... Other than that, I don't have anything other than time limit draw, and the crowd is pissed.
It's so funny that you texted me during the middle of the match telling me it was bad. And I was like, you're not even going to think about that. It was very Fiend and Seth Rollins Hell in a Cell like.
Yes, it was
what did we
awful.
get from it? Nothing.
You literally just killed a former Evolve Women's Champion. You just buried a top star in, I wouldn't say top star, but like, one of the main people on Evolve, which is WWE's developmental, and you just buried Elena Black, who is someone who I would have loved to see get an actual run at this belt.
Yeah.
But then you kind of revive it by having, Zaya Brookside attack both of them.
No, you didn't. No. I don't want to hear this, because that's what I was going to get into. Zaya Brookside then comes out to attack both of them and hold the world championship like it matters. It doesn't. This is a tournament for a new mid-card title. You are not showing any sort of dominance or proving anything by attacking people lesser than you. You know what I mean?
No,
you're obviously correct. I know, wrestling scripted, whatever. But there's no logic
from a booking standpoint. It's a very dumb decision. It's a very lull TNA moment. This is
remember when The Rock was it Royal Rumble or
Travis
WrestleMania?
Scott thing?
No. Was it Royal Rumble or WrestleMania when he walks out celebrating like he did something and he wasn't even in the match?
Might have been Bad Blood, actually.
No, I mean, before I was watching.
Oh.
Was it, with Roman or something?
Oh, it was after Roman won the Royal Rumble. The crowd was pissed. The Rock came out to try to save it, and everybody still booed anyway.
Yeah, that's what it was. Exactly. Because he came out and was, the star of the show and whatever. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. No one cares about you, Brookside. And this is part of the reason we've talked about this before. Zaya Brookside, I still, this is kind of not a great thing here. But that being said, she is easily the best heel in wrestling right now. I can't stand her.
Whoa.
I don't care. I don't care. I hate her. I can't stand her.
I was going to say, there are much better heels right now.
I don't know if there are. I know it's a hot take, but in my opinion... Heyman. But people like Paul Heyman. You know what I mean? No one likes this person. She's just too good at
Maxine Dupree?
Maybe, but people are interested to see... No, not Austin Theory.
Dominic Mysterio, Liv?
But like that's the thing with
Jade
Xia,
Cargill.
Not. You serious about Cargill, bro? No. There's just something about Xia that is just you cannot like her. And that's kind of what we talked about with Division. Like Maxine's probably the closest second right now.
Oh crap, hold up.
But I personally think that Xia Brookside is the best heel in wrestling right now just because of how much I hate her. At least to me, she just brings out a reaction for me that I just can't stand her. But this, even though this wasn't like how they should have done it, this makes me hate her more. You know?
Yeah.
But anyway, this is easily the worst match of the week. By far.
Yeah, there's not really a competition. I mean, realistically, is there a match that was worse? I mean, Chelsea and Kiana wasn't great, but it's not compared to this.
Even then, like that's not an absolute snooze. There was like a decision in the match. There was a reason to watch. That's the point of this match. That was 12 minutes wasted. Absolutely wasted. You got nothing from that.
True.
Because even with that post-match beatdown, she's a world champion. That doesn't matter.
There's one thing at the end of this match that we did get. Elena Black shakes Wendy Chu's hand. So did that turn Elena Black face?
No, I don't know. Nothing makes sense here. I think the best thing that we're gonna get from it is that maybe this sets up Elena Black versus Xia Brookside.
Which would be a good match.
Probably, yeah. But that being said, there could have been such better ways to get here.
Yes.
You know, maybe have Chu win and then Black get eliminated.
Or have Xia Brookside cost Elena Black the match.
Exactly.
A time limit draw is stupid.
Do you think that maybe it was a mistake? Maybe Xia came out late? Or do you think this is just booking?
I think that was planned. I think it was planned. They probably should have done it better. Like, I think they probably should have made it like someone's going for a pin, like they did with that one Adam Cole versus MJF match, where they fought to a time limit draw after, like, Adam Cole is literally about to win, and then as he's in the pin going 1, 2, right before the referee counts 3, the bell rings because the time limit is up. That would have made sense.
But I mean, they're just lying in the ring, and then you just hear the bell.
Yes.
I mean, that was horrendous.
The roster is still casting votes for the TNA International Championship. Hotch goes to count it. Ali says, "No, what are you doing?" So I'm assuming that means
it wasn't Hotch. It was Skylar.
Okay, it was Skylar. Then never mind.
After Skylar opens the box and Ali gets mad and everyone else walks away, Mila Moore looks at him and says, "I think you're doing fine." And then walks away, and then Skylar starts to, like, blush and look around with a smile as he's alone.
Riz. Chat, is this Riz? And then we get a system promo. We're the gatekeepers of TNA. We deserve who's in the ring. Sosa was beaten and embarrassed, yada yada. Ricky Sosa interrupts, says the only reason Bronson won was because Myers was on their side. The system says, "Yeah, well, you're alone, Ricky Sosa." And then Leon Slater comes in, says he has Ricky's back. Says, "Well, since you guys are in wrestling attire, and we're in wrestling attire, let's fight." The system says, "Yeah, we'll go talk to Daria, and this match will happen next week." Ricky says, actually, no, it's not Ricky, I'm sorry. Leon says, anywhere it happens, it ends one way, and it's the system going out with A, and then hands the mic to...
Bang.
Yes, bang, bang.
Bang, bang. But I think it's funny because with this whole, it doesn't matter where it happens or whatever, he's like, it doesn't matter if it's in Albany, it doesn't matter if it's in Philadelphia, it doesn't matter if it's on Pluto, Mars, Saturn, like, he just
with
starts naming
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
He sounds like freaking Patty the Batty. Well, so we cut back to the Order 4, and where it's revealed Jason Hotch has won
the voting.
Ali says, "Oh, they're playing a rib on Hotch," and says, "Hotch, go tell Daria it's a rib. We'll go redo the vote."
Not only does he say it's a rib, he says, Nick Nemeth probably did this.
Yeah.
Which
And then,
is funny.
Speaking of Nick Nemeth, then we have the injury report.
Well, yeah, but before we do that, I just think it's really interesting how much, I almost said Muhammad Ali. How much Mustafa Ali is burying Hotch in front of the entire group, saying someone else would have deserved this more. I need an actual competitor. All of these awful things in front of him, and everyone except for maybe Mila Moore was like taken aback from it as well. So he tells him to go talk to someone and get this changed and get a different competitor.
Yes.
And then it is the injury report.
Yes, where Elena Black and Moose are in evaluation, but they're both not supposed to miss any time. But Nick Nemeth is in incredible condition. Moose is in evaluation. Nick Nemeth is in perfect condition to take on KC Navarro tonight.
Yes, we got two things
Nick updates.
mentioned.
Two Nick
for
Nemeth
Nick
updates.
Nemeth, which is great. That's great to hear. I always love to know that Nick Nemeth is greatest alive.
One thing, because I just did it too, and it made me think, I really, really miss the Acclaimed.
Oh, dude, I was thinking about that a week ago.
I miss the Acclaimed.
Oh, I miss them. I miss them so.
Like, I get Bones is in the
Joe Biden's COVID test. Come on.
I get that they have Bowens in the ops, but come on.
There's nothing going on because
Caster's doing nothing. He's sitting in catering.
Yeah, what I saw about Max Caster was that they dropped the gimmick because they dropped the rap gimmick because they didn't want to get canceled. Which is
that would make sense, but just tell Max to tone it down.
Well, also that, but also it's AEW.
Yeah.
If anyone's gonna get you canceled anywhere, it's not AEW.
Yeah, and if anybody on that show is gonna get you canceled, it's gonna be MJF.
I don't get why they're concerned about it. I'm wondering if maybe Max just wanted to move on from it and do something else. But that being said, he hasn't done
this gimmick's not much better.
What gimmick is he doing now?
Let's go, Max. You're the best wrestler alive.
Oh, goodness. Wasn't the pre-K? I don't...
Literally not a joke.
Oh.
He's been doing it for a year.
Because, once I started watching, AEW regularly, he was already, off TV.
Yeah.
So
he's been off TV for a bit.
Yeah,
but,
I didn't realize that...
They kind of really just did a feud within...
how long ago it was that he dropped the gimmick. Which is annoying.
But, righteous deletion.
Yeah.
Do you want to take this one?
Sure, I will.
Or do you want me to take it? I can...
I will. I think we can go back and forth on it. But, I mean, just look at everything I wrote for this.
Yeah, no, I've got... Half of my notes is just this.
This was cinema. I'll try my best to do this fluidly, but it's tough with everything that happened. But the Righteous enter the Hardy compound, and they just completely changed the time to day because it was night, and it's better in the day and whatever. And so, that's perfectly normal. I will say, as someone who started watching wrestling after Bray Wyatt died, this is awesome. Because I never got to experience Bray Wyatt stuff live. I loved this a lot.
It's very akin to the Firefly Funhouse match.
Exactly. Matt Hardy says that he senses the Righteous are here and goes to tell Brother Nero. And then the teams meet.
He has Vanguard 1, who is his drone, tell Brother Nero.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I missed that part.
Which makes more sense if you've watched previous Deletion matches.
Okay, that's fair. And I think I saw the original Deletion.
The Jeff versus Matt.
I saw Jeff versus Matt, but that was a while ago. because once I first figured out about Broken Matt Hardy, I watched the entire original storyline. So that was cool.
Same.
Anyways, so the teams meet above the Hardy Cross. What I just want to mention, Jeff Hardy does all of his own lawn, and so that was cool to see. His art displayed there. But they fight on top of that. Vincent attacks them both the Hardys with a shovel.
I want to say something real quick. The Righteous seemingly build a shed during the time it takes the Hardys to get ready. They're just in a shed.
I thought that was already there.
It might have been, but it's I thought they were built
in
it for a minute.
I remember.
Yeah, that. they're just seemingly in this shed, and I don't know what's happening, and there's a portal in it.
Yeah, that's the one.
I don't know what that was. It was literally. It's this is hanging above
glowing,
them, and it's
glowing blue. Vincent attacks both the Hardys with the shovel. And then the Hardys teleport, and so do the Righteous. And then, as they are in the ring, inside the compound and everything, indoors, the ref appears, and they start, the actual match you would think. It only gets crazier from here.
We think. This was very much I felt like I was tripping.
Multiple pin attempts from the Hardys. Dutch keeps kicking out. Matt hits Dutch with a shoe. While they're on the ground. Yeah, with his own shoe while they're outside of the ring. Jeff and Vincent fight, and suddenly the Righteous enter the Hardy house.
They're in the living room where there's
they're just looking
kind of
at pictures. Sort of, all of a sudden it cuts back and Matt is biting Dutch's hand.
Nice.
Outside of everything, and Matt and Dutch Matt throws Dutch in the water along with himself. As they go in the water, they're all buddy pal chum friends laughing around a campfire.
Yeah, they're just... I want to talk about this. The Hardys are just now at a fire with the Righteous, just shooting the shit like they're best friends. It's hilarious. They're just yo, you remember that time when you tried to kill me? Oh my god.
Literally, they sound drunk.
It was they're drunk.
They were, which is kind of, I don't want to say funny, because it's kind of a dark thing to talk about, but I thought it was interesting that they did sort of that joke with Jeff there, and he's mostly sober now,
and then,
I think fully.
Some kid, which I assume is one of Matt Hardy's kids, gives the news to Dutch that Vincent is dead.
Yeah.
As he is a doctor.
And Vincent disappeared out of his chair seat around the fire.
Yes. And then
and Dutch is just
they cut to this. Vincent is in a casket, and Dutch is looking around what the heck's happening? And then he puts a wicked flower in
the lily of the valley.
The kid puts the lily of the valley in Dutch's mouth.
No, the kid didn't do it. It was Vincent.
Oh no, Vincent! You're right. Vincent puts it into Dutch's mouth.
Yeah. Which
is crazy. And then, we cut back, and the Hardy kids are jumping Dutch.
They are in the middle of that. Matt Hardy said on the way back that the dream that... Can't believe I'm saying this. The dream that Dutch had was, and I quote, orgasmic.
That isn't the first time he said that on television either, which is crazy.
After the Hardy family attacks Dutch
with
Willow,
Rebecca shows up.
Rebecca's there too, and I think hit a twist of fate?
Yes.
Yeah. Then Willow appears behind Dutch and starts attacking him with the umbrella. Yeah,
and he's got an Umaga shirt.
I was so excited. Did he?
Yeah, he had an Umaga shirt.
I didn't even see that. That's cool. But after all of that, it cuts to Dutch in the pool again. Jeff and Vincent are back to fighting the way they were before in the field. Vincent goes to light fireworks. And the Hardys attack, the Righteous fight, and then they have a firework battle in the field.
Yeah.
They are lighting fireworks at each other.
So we've progressed from a wrestling match to attempted murder.
Yeah.
That's an attempted murder charge. Locked Up episode number 2 that we've had an attempted murder on it, because
the first one?
last time we talked was Tommaso Ciampa with a drill.
Well, that wasn't attempted. He did actually murder the floaty.
You're right, he did. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I wanted to rest in peace to the floaty.
Yeah, definitely.
Dutch has a beaded necklace now with a pouch.
Before that, just want to mention that this whole firework battle sequence, the Hardys ended up getting hit with the fireworks and kind of lost that sequence, and so now the Righteous are in control. And
yes.
I thought that was strange because Hardys sold that horribly.
Yeah, no.
I can't be the only one who was thinking. I had to rewind it because I was like, did they get hit with something? They just all of a sudden they were like, so they just like died of old age. I don't know what happened.
Died of old age.
I don't know what that was supposed to be.
They finally succumbed to the 30 years of putting their bodies through hell while jumping off of ladders.
Yeah, especially Jeff.
Yes, especially Jeff, who I think fell down first. But they, the pouch has wicked flowers in it, and they stuff them into both of the mouths of the Hardys.
I think they only did Matt's.
I thought they gave. Oh, then they must have only done Matt.
I'm pretty sure it was only Matt, and I think they beat up Jeff next to him.
Yes, and then they dunk the Hardys into the Lake of Reincarnation, and then put flowers above them. They return to the top with goat masks and their greatest tag team of all time t-shirts. Jeff goes, nah, I need a different goat. Goes back, and he comes up as the Antichrist Jeff Hardy from his TNA Championship days in Hulk Hogan's Immortal faction, which was with his Another Me theme song playing in the back. They are able to beat up the Righteous. They set them on tables. Jeff gets in an excavator, making it go higher in the air, raises it as high up as he can, climbs it, and swanton bombs himself through 2 tables. Jeff. Just like how we said with Darby.
Yeah.
Chill out.
I mean, that's still, I think, a little bit calmer than most of Darby's spots.
Average Darby spot.
Yeah, right.
Most tame Darby spot.
Like, Darby hitting his head on the ring post the other day was worse.
Yeah, hey, I got an idea. Kill me. Like,
yeah, exactly. That could easily
give me CTE, please. Like,
anyways, the Hardys would win off of that pin. Jeff would pin them on the tables. Just want to mention, during that excavator spot...
And the Righteous have been...
Deleted! Wonderful! Delete. During that excavator spot is when my mom walked in. And so she was so confused over what was going. She was like,
I was confused for half of that match because I felt like I was tripping balls and I didn't know where anything was.
I'm like, hey mom, I gotta write my notes for my wrestling podcast, and then she walks into an excavator. That
like,
Jeff
this don't look
Hardy's
like wrestling. This looks like you're playing a construction sim,
or like it's like HGTV or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
HGTV. Hotch is at the TNA management office. He doesn't want to do what Ali says. Like, you could see he's very conflicted. Leon assures him that he shouldn't. Hotch takes a call and walks away.
When Leon was reassuring Hotch about everything, Leon mentioned that he voted for Hotch.
Yes.
So I don't know if that's going to be important in the future, but I figured I'd mention it because that seems like something that he wouldn't just say randomly.
And then we have probably the worst placed match of the entire card, because how do you follow up the Righteous Deletion with Alicia Edwards versus Jada Stone?
That's a good question, because I was just anticipating Navarro and Nemeth by then, and I was like, oh wait, there's another.
Like, I thought that they would have made the Righteous Deletion the main event.
Well, I mean, world title match, to be fair.
Deletion match.
Well, no, but I guess you got a point.
The thing that's gonna pay off this big feud that's happening for how many months?
Yeah, probably 2.
Jada Stone wins with a split-legged moonsault. Well, I'm sorry, with a Well, I'm sorry.
Basically-
She wins with a roll up. My bad.
Basically, all you need to know is that Eddie Edwards did his absolute best to try and help Alicia Edwards win this match, and she still lost to Jada Stone. Alicia Edwards attacked Stone afterwards, and then Eddie would help Alicia escape because Stone was getting the upper hand in that fight as well. So that's about all to take away from there. It wasn't a bad match in any way. It was just kind of randomly placed.
Hotch tells Ali that he didn't stop it from happening. Ali is pissed, but Hotch says he deserves this shot. And see you next week.
And he said that the call he got, he was on the phone with his wife.
Yes.
And he connected it to Ali saying how, you know how important family is and all this stuff. Just give me this one shot, please. And then we went on to Casey Navarro and Nick Nemeth, which was a very good match. And
Ryan was sent to the back before this match, too.
Ryan, he was?
Yes, like he literally goes, like, as you know how they showed them walking out?
Yeah. I may have skipped that.
He tells Ryan, he just goes, go. Like, it was before the break.
I guess he was concerned because... Well, I mean, storyline-wise, I guess he was concerned because Ryan could have caused a DQ.
Mm-hmm. I just want to say, before this match starts, Casey Navarro was wearing Dolph Ziggler merch to the ring.
He's wearing Dolph Ziggler merch. He does the hip swivel, and I think he did another Ziggler taunt as well.
Yes, and I mean specifically Ziggler, not Nemeth.
Yes,
he's wearing Ziggler merch.
He's wearing Ziggler merch. The commentary said it's something about Nick Nemeth's past. You know, dumb. But anyways, Casey starts off with a super kick. There were 3 near falls to start the match, and this was a constant in this match. There were so many times that Casey tried to pin Nemeth. I wrote down there were probably about 12 pin attempts, but that was mid-match. There may have ended up being like 16. And
yeah, there was a lot.
Whatever else may have happened during the commercials as well.
And Navarro super kicks him off rip.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, was that it was a super kick immediately, and then pin, and none of them actually fell for the 3. But that being said, I love seeing this because it creates a very genuine match feel, because it feels like he's desperate to win the title. After all of this, Nick Nemeth he had a bit of a spot with his nether regions in the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
That was a little bit unfortunate for him, where he just like kind of runs full steam ahead and done. Ooh, that was unfortunate for him. This is when I wrote it down, but Navarro having all of those pin attempts, and then this super kick spot was crazy. I think you know which one I'm talking about.
Yes, I do. I wrote it down.
The Nemeth one where, oh goodness, that was loud as hell. 305 Code Red near fall.
Yes.
Just
so close.
Constant close calls for Casey Navarro, and then it would end up being a Danger Zone win for Nick Nemeth to
after he counters the blessing in disguise.
Yes. And just, I really thought that Casey would win. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if that's me being stupid.
I didn't think Casey would win, but he really did put on a good fight.
I had a feeling it would be a shock.
Who else is left for, like, who would be someone you would want Nick Nemeth to be dethroned by? Because, like, in terms of faces, there's, like, what? Navarro, Eichner, Slater, Sosa, and, like, Moose.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe Moose, but that being said, like, he's done that before.
He hasn't been faced, but as a champion.
I mean, this is just in terms of, like, favorite wrestler stuff, but, like, I really like Leon Slater, and I would love to see him win the world title.
Like, I feel like he's the perfect guy to dethrone him, but it's really just a question of if he's going to actually stay in the company.
Oh, I didn't even think
Because-
about that because his contract's up in December, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I've heard a lot of murmurs about AEW. I've heard just as many for WWE. I'd love to see the one he goes to. I think it will probably be AEW.
That's fair. I think it will be WWE. I think he would fare better in AEW.
I feel like if he goes to WWE, he should skip NXT completely.
Easily.
He should skip NXT completely and
He's
go
been on
immediately to
SmackDown.
SmackDown.
He's been on
Exactly.
SmackDown.
He should be immediately inserted to SmackDown's US title picture. Like
exactly.
that. Like he should literally on his first night, he should challenge Trick.
I'm assuming Trick still has the title.
If Trick still has but he should just whoever's champion, he should have a match with. And then let him make it the UK belt. Who cares? But
yeah, all right. Well, we go on to SmackDown and the whole Cody and Punk belt thing that we talked about briefly last week, and I kind of mentioned it as a joke. I didn't think it would turn into anything. They started to, go at each other about it. This was a mistake. No, it wasn't. Whatever. And they're butting heads now, and so that was just an extra thing to throw in to add something to this, I guess, well, now you can say feud, but before it was kind of a friendly feud. You know what I mean? So we start off with the Nick Aldis and Gunther contract signing, and man,
freaking contract signing.
I know you don't like contract signings, and I don't either.
This one was done well, though.
Exactly. This contract signing was really good, even though I don't like contract signings. So Pierce welcomes Gunther to the ring. All this is already there at the beginning, and he's just like, because he's like awkwardly standing there because he probably got yelled at by Adam Pierce like a parent. The contract states that a GM cannot compete in a match as a WWE superstar, or else they will have to relinquish their duties as GM.
Wait a minute. That must be new then, because Adam Pierce, last time I checked, you were once scheduled to face Roman Reigns for the world title.
It is now, because they mentioned
it is now
at the beginning of it, and so Aldis signs immediately.
And Gunther's mic's cutting out too during this.
Gunther's mic was cutting out for a brief amount of time, and they cut the camera away to get him a new mic, I believe. Aldis signed in a heartbeat. This means now that Adam Pierce is officially GM of Raw and SmackDown.
So I'm wondering, is it just for the next 2 weeks?
Until they find a new... No, Aldis is gone.
Or is Aldis officially a member of the active WWE roster?
Aldis is officially a WWE superstar.
Okay.
And
great.
Fired.
I'd love to see Aldis. I've got a bunch of people I'd love to see him feud with.
Me too. Gunther immediately just starts slamming on Nick's GM work, saying, you can't do your job, all this stuff. I'm glad that you're losing your job and whatever, and then you're going to lose this match and all this stuff. Says Nick wasn't good enough to wrestle here, and that's why he became a GM. Which is like, ooh,
yeah, but
the face.
Nick Aldis has one of the best lines I've heard was, you're going to go from the career killer to the guy who got made a bitch by his boss.
Yes.
That's a great line. They brawl.
Yeah, they brawl.
Gunther kicks Aldis in the dick and powerbombs him through a table.
And so Aldis is just kind of left dead in the ring, and Gunther wins that little thing. But the match
and then Kathy
official.
Kelly.
Yeah, Kathy Kelly. This was a great segment. Kathy Kelly is going to deliver an update on Nick Aldis, and here comes Sami Zayn, and immediately...
Just to bitch and moan.
Well, yeah, but he cut a really good... It reminded me of The Miz and Daniel Bryan almost. That just the amount of passion that Sami put into this promo was amazing. However, before he even says anything, you can see bottles on a box in the back. And so you know that they're not safe. Anyways, crash out promo happens. -1 bottle from that box in the back. And then he says to Adam Pearce that he wants him to fix things, very similar to how Gunther did that whole thing. He wants a triple threat at SummerSlam. Sammy, shut up.
He does just straight up tell him, shut up now. Just shut up.
He does. Earlier on the Dynamite show, Tekla told Mick Foley to shut up as well. I don't think.
Hey, don't tell Foley to shut up. He's Foley. Don't be mean to Mick.
Anyways,
he likes his shoes.
So what does happen is, I almost said Aldis. Adam Pearce announces that Sami Zayn will have a #1 contenders match at SummerSlam, in which Sami Zayn is upset, but he accepts. And I just think this segment and the one before were so good, and we don't have, like, with starting segments to SmackDown especially, to start off with 2 really good segments, that's rare.
SmackDown was very good this week.
Which
is very different from most SmackDowns, because SmackDown has been a little not as great as it was.
It's been pretty lackluster in comparison to Raw ever since Raw moved to Netflix. So the past year and a half, just about.
Yeah, ever since they lost Roman, it's kind of been not great.
I guess.
Like, well, all the stars are on Raw. Like,
I mean, for the most part, besides
minus Punk, but like
Punk
Seth,
and Cody.
Punk, like the only ones but Seth and Roman, Gable, Penta, Braun Breaker, Theory, Logan.
Sorry. Then we go to Brie Bella and Laney.
Brie Bella gets a jobber entrance here.
Yeah, she did just kind of.
Brie Bella got the jobber entrance,
which is kind of funny, although.
Which is disrespectful.
That being said, it does make Fatal Influence look good. I don't think I've ever talked about this. I really like Fatal Influence's theme.
Me too. I love Fatal Influence's theme.
One of the better Def
Rebel few Def Rebel bangers.
I'm still upset over Stephanie Vaquer getting Def Rebel.
I
miss the old riff so much.
But I knew Fatal Influence cut a promo against Brie and Paige. JC Jane wants the U.S. title. Then we get Brie Bella versus Laney Reed. Reed went for a cheap shot, misses, and gets sent out of the ring.
Yep.
They brawl on the outside for a bit until Brie sends Laney into the ring, where Laney hits a slingshot cutter right after we come back from a break. Jason gets involved. Paige stops it. Laney rolls up. Laney tries to roll Brie up. Brie then turns it around and rolls Laney up, and Brie wins.
And before we get to the big meat and potatoes of all of that, I just think JC Jane's promo on her way to the ring was that had to be ChatGPT. It didn't sound right. It sounded like she was contradicting herself, and then didn't feel confident in what she was saying, and then whatever.
Well, we know that WWE uses AI, so
yeah, exactly. I'm glad there was a match
GPT's
along
going crazy.
with it because the promo itself was not it.
As Fatal Influence jumps them, Nikki Bella returns, and guess what? I called that.
Mm-hmm. I literally have it
you
written
told
down.
Me. You told me.
Donovan predicted.
And I just want to point out, you told me. No, she won't be back. You told me.
And that's why I thought it was so funny, because I also wrote it down here. The day after we recorded and I said that she wasn't going to get cleared, she went online and said that I'm getting cleared. Whatever. Hogan must
I'm
pose.
hulking up because I just got that.
Pose.
Hold up. You know what?
And you not only did you predict the return, but you also predicted that they announced the 3v3 match at SummerSlam.
Give me that belt. Give me that belt. You see that? Hold up, camera.
Bro,
look at this.
What?
See how good that looks, camera? This is a kid's belt.
What
you see that? Look at that.
Vibe predictions belt is going
yes,
on
sir.
here. What am I looking at? Anyways, Kathy Kelly is backstage with Finn Balor, and Finn Balor talks about that night from 10 years ago when he won the title and then got injured. And then Gunther says that he wants to get to the world title first because Finn is determined to get to the world title now. Gunther's like, don't do what happened last time and whatever, because Gunther is Gunther. And then we go to Royce Keys, who is backstage. Solo Sikoa hypes him up, and then LA Knight enters.
He kind of just hypes him up. He says, "Don't worry about the bloodline." Well, Royce says, "Don't worry about the bloodline." LA Knight says, "Do worry about the bloodline because they're everywhere." But get that dub. Solo just starts being a weirdo. Then we cut to Tiffany and Chelsea, who are talking about the ladder match. Chelsea says she's gonna go book a martini appointment. For later.
I quite literally what I wrote for before, of course, other stuff happened in this segment. I just wrote girlies.
Yes.
Because that's basically all we got from
And then
Tiffany
Blake Monroe pretty much just straight up challenges Tiffany.
Yeah, challenges her for the U.S. title. But, man, Blake entered to absolutely no pop.
Yeah.
And that was unfortunate. Then we go to Chelsea Green and Kiana James.
There's not a lot to say in this. Chelsea Green hits a Rough Rider. She catches a kick and says, "Not today," and then gets super kicked. Unpretty her. She beats Kiana. And then we have R-Truth, who is excited to see Priest warming up for a tag title match, which is next week.
Priest says, "I'm not in a tag match tonight. That's next week. I'm in a 4-way. And R-Truth says, "I don't know if that's PG, DP." Come on.
Damn it, Truth.
They talk about hot dogs briefly, and then Cody enters and says, "I heard you were talking about hot dogs. Sounds good. I like hot dogs." And now I want to talk. I think you're welcome to my TED Talk because I have a theory. Cody enters in a blue suit and is talking about hot dogs the same way that Sonic, blue character, talks about chili dogs. I'm just saying this isn't a coincidence.
I wish I had another mic over here so I could break the fourth wall, so I'm going to go ahead and just...
Okay, buddy, but the whole point that I'm, making here is, Cody's a nerd, let's be honest. I have a feeling that he did that intentionally.
Or, he's talking about hot dogs, not chili dogs.
It's the same idea. Cody does the same thing that Punk did not too long ago with mentioning, hey, maybe we could have a tag match and then we become double champs and whatever, and being all friendly about it, but they're actually apparently coming for the tag titles or whatever. And then Damian just rips on Cody all of a sudden. He says he is sick of the same people running WWE. And this is what I was talking about last week, where he's showing a slightly heel side because he's having tension with R-Truth. And now this...
We know he's going to turn on Truth, which is just a matter of when.
That's what I'm thinking. But, I guess that's just what's going to happen. I just hope that R-Truth starts to snap back to Ron Killings and they give him a second chance at that.
Then we have the most storyline-driven part of the night.
Yeah, that is true.
With Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. So Cody comes out and it's like, "Hey, here's my friend Punk. Yay, woo!" Punk comes out, does his thing. Cody drops the mic he was trying to give Punk. Punk drops the title and squares up to Cody.
Exactly.
Then goes to get his own mic.
Which is interesting. Punk wants a fight.
Yes. So Punk calls himself paranoid, but tries to say that Cody is too. Cody says he's not paranoid, and that was an accident, just like how Punk hit him, which was an accident. Cody says that he loves Punk, but he doesn't like him.
Mm-hmm.
Says
I don't like you.
He says that he did what Punk said he would do in the pipe bomb promo, but he says that the crowd wishes that it was Punk that did what Cody did.
Which is a perfectly fair point, because when Punk left, he left wrestling.
Yeah, the closest we got was him in the UFC.
I tell you what, he sure took some bumps there, didn't he?
Punk says today is the best roster in WWE history, which I don't agree with.
I don't think so either, although...
I would say probably Attitude Era. Maybe Ruthless Aggression.
Maybe closer to Ruthless Aggression. Either way, I guess maybe what he was trying to say more is most talented, which I think could be.
Could be.
If you just talk about in-ring skill alone. That being said, most of the really good wrestlers aren't being used right now. Johnny
Gargano. Punk says that he doesn't sweat anybody in the locker room except from you. He said that in 2022, I was learning from you that there was a way back.
Because he said he was on the other side of it. He's in AEW. That's what he's trying to say, but he can't say it.
Punk says that I promised you years ago that I wouldn't stab you in the back. I would stab you in the front. Then Cody starts unbuttoning his shirt. Cody says that he has a gift for Punk that he's going to give to him at a live event, which is an apology for when I, quote, whip your ass at SummerSlam. Punk says that he has a gift for you, too. He says, it's a pillar-to-post ass whooping wrapped in a loss.
Basically saying the same thing back and forth.
Yep, and he says that there will be a lesson to it. And he says, quote, no one can beat me. Not even Dusty's kid.
Yes.
Which sets Cody off.
Yeah. But before that, what I think is the most interesting line here was CM Punk said that Cody, and this isn't word for word, but this does get the same message across. He said that Cody can't handle the pressure of not being enemies. Because Cody's, like, too sympathetic to pull the trigger on a friend. While Punk is ruthless and will do anything to whoever. After the whole Dusty's kid thing, Cody stops Punk and, like, we're not ending on a Dusty's kid line and we'll play Kingdom in a minute. And says something about, like, I'll beat you at SummerSlam. Some easy thing just saying, like, actually I'm going to win. And it just seemed like kind of a cheap, petty way for him to get his own theme song played. And I don't know if that's kind of like supposed to be a heel move or whatever, or something that Punk's going to talk about. Like, how come you did this? You didn't actually say anything back or whatever. We'll have to see. But, yeah, it didn't just end with the Dusty's Kid line. But that being said, the actual impact ended with the Dusty's Kid line.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, I agree. Wholeheartedly, I agree.
Then it is Charlotte Flair versus Nia Jax, which is the final qualifier, right?
No, there's one next week.
Oh, is there?
There is one next week. I forget who it is. It's Lash Legend versus Julia.
Oh, yeah. Week. Oh, goodness.
So I hope Julia wins that and wins the belt. Jade interrupts the match with the baddies. Charlotte takes a Punk from Jade, DQ. Charlotte Flair defeats Nia Jax by DQ. Nia's pissed because she's been screwed over 2 weeks in a row. Mm-hmm. And as the baddies and Jade beat down Charlotte.
Before this match even started, Charlotte Flair cut a promo that was probably one of her worst that I've heard in a while anyway. She finishes her promo by saying, "Payback's and you know the end of that sentence." And then her theme hits.
Then we get a number one contender qualifier, fatal four-way. Damian Priest versus Finn Balor versus Royce Keys versus Trick Williams. Trick does not have Yachty. Finn Balor is showcased a lot. This is just a really good match, just in general. But then, halfway through the match, the Usos show up to attack Royce Keys. Solo shows up. LA Knight comes out of the crowd. Priest has a crossbody that takes out everybody. Sami Zayn is watching this match with Johnny Gargano. Well, Sami and Candice are watching this match as Johnny Gargano lays on the floor. Fatu shows up. Fatu murders Royce Keys.
But all of this is happening after, like, so many ads.
Yeah, there was multiple ads.
There were 2 ad breaks in the span of, like, 2 seconds. There were, like, 2 moves there was ads after the entrances, so you didn't get to see any of the beginning of the match. Then we came back. There were like 2 moves and then Solo enters, which distracted away from the match. And then once we actually got back to the match, the ads started again. And so we didn't get to see much of any of the match for the first 7 minutes.
Finn Balor does a sling blade, shotgun dropkick, coup de grace, and pins Royce Keys. Actually, no, he pins Priest. I lied. And will face Sami Zayn for the #1 contender at SummerSlam. When the show goes off the air, Corbin attacks Trick and challenges him for the U.S. title. Trick and Corbin will also be at SummerSlam.
Okay. I tell you what, I did not see the exclusive footage, so that's good to know. Then, finally, we go to Collision. He was not able to see this full show, so I'm going to take away most of this, and it might be a little bit out of sort, but we'll try and get it as far across as possible. But we had 8 matches in this show, and like 5 segments. But for the most part, this was a very wrestling-focused show. And it was a good show. We start off with Tommaso Ciampa and Wentz, and Ciampa wins pretty decent. Well, actually, it wasn't really quick, but there wasn't too much to take away from the match besides Wentz was very resilient throughout this whole thing. Ciampa and Paul White are staring at each other. Ciampa says that he is better than Chris Jericho, and he also says that the Psycho Killer is better than Painmaker. We then go to Speedball backstage, and he says that he is entering the ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship #1 contender at Redemption. He said that he's entering it by draw, and he doesn't need to qualify for it. 2 people didn't have to qualify for it. So then we go to Young Bucks and the Death Riders. The Death Riders were...
Wheeler and...
It was Wheeler, Yuta, and
Garcia.
Yeah. Anyway, Moxley's on commentary. They had a very clean, good wrestling match with I didn't see anything weird, any clunkiness or anything. The Death Riders distracted and attacked the Young Bucks, but they did not get the pinfall. Then Cope and Cage would come out to attack Pac and Claudio Castagnoli, whatever... Claudio. And then the Young Bucks would take a win, and then Ospreay and Moxley would attack the Young Bucks, and Ospreay is just like no emotion, death staring.
Yes, very heel.
Yeah.
Very heelish.
Very strange, because we saw him on Dynamite, and he was still, for the most part, just Ospreay, right? So
yeah.
It almost seems like he was brainwashed, basically. You know
yes.
what I mean? Just something's off about him. Persephone and Risk, jobber, and Persephone wins in like 2 seconds, and literally nothing else to take away from that, but Persephone defends her belt once again. So we go to MIT, and they take shots at the Brawling Birds, and that's about all we get from that. And then we have Skyflight and Lethal Twist. Ricochet and Jeff Jarrett are both on commentary. They have a 5-person booth right now. They have a 5-person commentary booth. Skyflight are living up to their name as they are flying everywhere. A lot of high-flying moves. The Lethal Twist, though, would steal the win with a distraction from Ricochet. And then we go to AR Fox and Nick Wayne, which is another qualifying match for the ladder match at Redemption. Wayne would attack early before the bell starts. Anyways, during this match, the feed randomly blacks out for a solid 90 seconds. And so I don't know what went on with the AEW feed, but we missed a bunch of the match in the middle of it. Nick Wayne would nail a kick and hit the Prodigy Plex to win and advance to the match at Redemption.
Does he still do the Wayne's World?
Beats me.
His cutter?
I don't remember.
Springboard.
Well, I still
No?
don't remember. I don't think he didn't to win this match. I'd imagine he still does it, but I don't know, because a lot of people do cutters. We go to a segment from Wednesday after Dynamite where Darby Allin is crashing out, throwing his skateboard into a wall and other stuff, and just calling out Kevin Knight, the same thing as always, just calling him out for the match on Dynamite next week. And then we have a really funny match between the Conglomeration and the Outrunners and Castle. This was, they had a flex off in the middle of the match. The ref was like, are we going to fight? Are we going to fight? And finally they shake hands,
Orange
get
Cassidy.
ready to fight. And then the ref, I guess, started complaining to the crowd, like, look at these guys, like, breaking the fourth wall. And then they just start brawling behind his back. And then once he turns around, he's like, no. So it's just funny how they bring the ref in as a big part of
Turbo
this match.
Floyd wrestling with the belt on.
Yeah, there was that. There were just a ton of funny moments that some of them I didn't even write down just because every moment was funny. Cassidy would eventually get the pin and defend the trios titles, and then the Lethal Twist would come out attacking everyone in the ring, not just the Conglomeration, but the Outrunners as well. Jeff Jarrett would come out and get punched by Ricochet, but it didn't matter because after all the brawls started to calm down, he would bring out the guitar and just smash it over that bald head. That big old bald head of Ricochet. Yeah, exactly. That was a cool moment. So then we cut back to Jack Perry. And I thought this was interesting because he starts out saying basically the same exact thing that CM Punk was saying like 2 weeks ago. And you know the dynamic.
Championship opportunity falls out of the sky.
Yeah, exactly. When a championship...
You know what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. He talks about the ladder match, and Nick Wayne enters, says that he will hurt Jack Perry in the process of winning the ladder match. And then... Jack Perry was like, well, can you do that without your sugar daddy? And so that was interesting. But that's about all we got from that. Just, more tension for the ladder match that we're getting. And then we had El Clone and Lio Rush. They had a funny moment to start this where El Clone is doing his taunt and Leo's just going along with it and staring the whole time. Rush is busted open, like, immediately. And I didn't see what happened. But I think it must have been... like, a stiff hand or whatever. But he got cut, like, right above the eye within, like, no time. Rush was tied up to the turnbuckle and taking a beating in the corner for a bit. But then once he finally started to get things together, he did his suicide dive. And he said, time to go for a ride. Whatever that may mean, who knows? We're still trying to decipher everything that Leo says and figure out this language.
No.
Anyways,
please tell me that impression is at least half decent.
It is actually pretty decent. Anyways, El Clone advances on a pin where he's holding on to the rope very obviously, but the ref is blind, and that's heartbreaking because I wanted to see Lio Rush advance, but whatever. He advances to the ladder match, and then Speedball and Commander just show up all of a sudden because I think Clone started beating up on Lio Rush afterwards, and so they clear him away and they face off. They don't actually fight. And then Kevin Knight cuts a quick promo on Kenny Omega. That was just to him. And then the next one was the Bang Bang Gang and the Dogs cutting promos on each other, but it's a video package, it's a high package, whatever. And then we have the main event, which is Willow Nightingale and Maya World versus Hikaru Shida and Tekla. Within 2 seconds, they are fighting out of the ring. They're who cares about the match itself? They just want to hurt each other. Willow Nightingale has a spot in this that I don't know why she would do it after returning from injury, but she does a cannonball to the outside in which she whiffs.
Yeah, that hurts a little bit.
Yeah, it was an intentional dodge, but I mean just like right onto that slightly padded concrete, and she's down outside writhing in pain for a bit of time.
I love how we have to, like, we always say, hey, this is, by the way, just lightly, very lightly padded concrete.
Yeah.
Like the same stuff that makes cinder blocks out of. Just with, like, a thin, maybe inch-thick mat.
Yeah, exactly.
But maybe an inch-thick mat.
The ref steals a belt from Tekla that she was going to try and use. And then Sheeta, because it was obviously a planned thing, because that's what heels do, as the ref is taking care of the belt, Sheeta shows up with a kendo stick and starts hitting Maya World. And then Tekla wins on a spear. No post-match attack from the heels or anything. That's just the show, as Tekla and Hikaru Shida take the win, and we go into Redemption tonight. So that is all we know from AEW, and we'll have to figure out exactly what's going on with Redemption, and then we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that before the live stream. Well, during the live stream.
Yeah, before SummerSlam. So,
well, we can talk about it during, because we all know we're going to have a shit ton of ads.
Yeah, you got a point. Didn't even think about that.
SummerSlam on ESPN, people.
Yay! All right, well, from Donovan Ryan, I'm Henry Berger. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Locked Up, and we will see you when SummerSlam comes around. So have a good one.
Yeah!
And we'll see you next time.